Clobberin' time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
It's clobberin' time! Clobberonimo!
Shoestring yards. Ah, man. Welcome, everybody. Greetings, clobbers, clobberonimos, clobberettes, clobberooskies, clobberoids, clobbers, everyone else in the secret to all you who are not clobberers yet is to bang the rocks together, guys. Clobberonimo! All right, my good friends, good to see you. Now, thank you for joining us tonight for CLOBBY'S Clubhouse. Here we are, Clobberin' Times, issue number 602 on YouTube, number 1,302 overall, and it's CLOBBY'S Clubhouse number 88, with, of course, my the most wonderful, amazing first officer in the fleet, the great Commander R.M. Briggs, and, of course, the greatest chief engineer, Mark D. with a C.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
Yep, it's so good to see you all. Thank you all for being here. Before we do show notes and shout outs, I will open the floor to my crewmen, and start out with, of course, my first officer. Any opening words, Commander Briggs?
I love you. Those are my opening words. Also, hail to Mark D with this C. Damn it, Mark. Also, hail to the chat. Welcome, everyone. It is so good to see you all. I am so excited to dig into tonight's topics and hear what you all think. Put up what you have to say on the marquee. It is going to be a ton of fun. Hey, guess what? I have a new book coming out, and I have some wonderful people who are helping me to get that book across the finish line. They're on my Patreon, and there's some pretty wonderful friends who I love and appreciate very much. Larry, Tony Stark, Sean Carter, Cardinal Sin, Shooter, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie, Pete, Eric K, and my baby Kirby, Enigmatic Drop Bear, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with his C. Damn it, Mark! Anti-Derivative Jill, Maximum Redstone, Dabman and the Dabman Clan, and Lord and Lady Thoth. Thank you so much for helping me as an independent author. You know, corporations are not interested in episodic science fiction, especially not corporate science fiction. And so I'm out here on my own. And I was doing it all alone until a whole bunch of heroes came along and helped make it possible. I have sold over 300 copies of my books and my short stories. And that's because of Clobby, that's because of Mark, and that is because of every single person in that chat, and especially those people on Patreon. I love you all so very much. Obviously there's no money in it, but I'm having a ball and I'm getting those stories out there, stories that we can all share and have a good time with. And that's what it's really all about, getting good science fiction out there. And I love you all very much. I really appreciate you. So let's dig in. Let's do it.
Let's do it indeed. Opening words, Mr. Chief Engineer Mark D.
Oh, always. Thank you. Great to be here. Always really difficult to follow Raquel because she says everything so well. And I'm not going to say I love you, but I think you're a pretty good friend. I won't open with I love you. But,
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, don't go that far. Yeah,
I prefer you hate me, actually.
Well, like my bro. You're my
I prefer
bro.
hatred. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Do you know what I mean? Like in real life, I'm gonna walk up to you, I'm gonna punch you in the shoulder, and then I'm gonna hug your gorgeous wife, and I'm gonna be like, "Wee!"
And she's gonna go, "Who is this person?
Who is this crazy woman?"
Yeah, dressed up that looks like an Andorian, but
that's right.
No, I had a really good day. I played hooky and went to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Is it Indiana Jones Part 28?
And the rotary dial of
Destiny, and I got to see the movie for free, which was nice. So hail to AMC theaters. So the movie they
free?
Windows.
Oh yeah, because it messed
Windows
up.
crashed. So it crashed. So it took like a half hour from get the movie, and then they're like, "We're just
going to
play
that they couldn't get it up."
They could. They could not.
Maybe it's because the star is a little aged now. Maybe he needs some movie Viagra.
Right.
They couldn't get it up. That's terrible. Wah, wah.
Wow. Indy had no pep now, but for an 80-year-old guy, I gotta say, he moves pretty well. God bless him. So I guess we'll talk about it later. But yeah, so I got and I'm going tomorrow night too because we're doing a movie night.
That thing?
Why?
Yeah, I get to see it twice because
my
wife loves Harrison Ford and her friend, and we're gonna do a dinner date and a movie with our buddies. Yeah, so I'm going again. Yeah. So I'd use my vouchers again. So hey, if your wife says she wants to go see a movie and go to dinner, you go, right?
It's date night at the D house. Dun, 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 dun.
So it'll be fun, and I get to enjoy it all the second time around and miss all those details that I missed the first time.
Yeah. What the? I love it.
Hopefully dinner will be good.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, no judgment.
I bet you could take it to McDonald's first, and it will be better than that.
Better you than me.
Well, I'll get her review tomorrow night.
Do it.
Well, let's see here. I mean, well, there's J-Man. J-Man said, I saw Indy 5 audience something. I hated it beyond all comprehension. I'd say it's Last Jedi bad for me. Wow. It was worse, though. I canceled all my Indy live streams. Well, look, dude, we're on the same page. It was.
Wow, I'm kind of surprised at that. I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. Yeah, I guess.
Mark, why do you always do this? I love you so much. You just ruin your street cred every time.
No, we get
parts I liked, parts I liked, and parts I didn't like. But I didn't think it was Highlander 2 level bad. Sorry, James.
Well, no,
that's a low blow.
I'll give you that. It's not Highlander.
Touch gloves. Be nice.
You're right.
No more low blows.
Give you that. Wait a minute. I'll give you that. It's not Highlander 2 theatrical cut bad. I mean, yeah. But
Clobby.
What?
Low blows. Back to your corner. Touch gloves. Be nice.
Cal said it would make for an interesting last date. Well, before we get into that, let me take care of
say hi to everyone. Yeah.
My fault for showing up, but I really wanted to show J-Man's. All right. Let's see here. Show notes are as follows. Let's see. Tomorrow night, I'll be hanging out at the comic shop with the great Nicholas Weiser, 32 Freeman's Nick Weiser, and the gang, 8:30 Central Standard Time. We're going to be reviewing 4 more issues of the Steve Ditko run of Spider-Man. So with the boys, that will be fun. Then, of course, Saturday night Star Trek.
Dun, 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 dun.
4 more episodes of DS9 and our penultimate
Episodes.
Saturday Night Star Trek.
Episodes.
Yes, you heard me right. And after that, only one more to go for us to finish up with never mind. D6. So I'm not. I almost said
You were gonna be naughty.
yes, and then he doesn't know. It's up in the air whether this is going to be a Sunday Night Geekery or not. But if there is, on the Great Mark D's
I'll let you know.
channel,
Yep.
there's the Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern. If there is, if not, oh well. But speaking of the Great J Man, Monday night I'll be over there with him, hanging out with him and Sean. He and Sean, we're going to be reviewing 3 more issues in our ongoing review of all of the chronological appearances of the Legion of Superheroes through Silver through Bronze. And let me do some shout outs because J-Man, I know you said you cancel your In Banana Jones streams, but I would like to talk to you about that. Or maybe you can. I mean, man, that's pretty extreme for you, buddy. I would like to get. I mean, that's bad because he had some streams where he was going to talk about the movie, an open mic one, and he also was going to do one reviewing some Indiana Jones comics. So, but let's do our shout outs first. And everyone, I can't see the chat, and whether they're here or not, they get the shout out. The great Eric K, Bronze Wrencher Extraordinaire.
Hey, baby, love you.
Indeed, Chris Persia, Vindicator Wrench of the North. Thank you, buddy, for all you do.
Yeah, thank you for the beautiful show poster and for using your own social media to
buddy.
promote Clubby's channel. It means the world to me. I love you so much, Chris. You're such a good friend to one and all, and we really appreciate your time and your consideration and your loyalty and your talent. Cool posters, honey. We love you.
Thank you, buddy. The great D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. The great Lord Thoth, God of Wrenching, and his goddess, better half, Lady Thoth. I'll shout out to her as well. Avon lives and long live the Legion.
And if you really love the Thoths, throw some cheese to our very own Porthos, Lance.
My partner in crime, Unearth B, Legionnaire, Reviewed Extraordinaire, and Wrench Without Fear, the aforementioned great J-Man. Hey, buddy.
Also an author. Go check out his store on Amazon.
The Hungry Boy, the sorry, getting all the introductions messed up. Sorry, Master of the Clubonian Comics, artist extraordinaire, Super Wrench Stephen Kal-El, Super Wrench, real soup. Leader of Reach Mjolnir, Thor in Vegas, Maddie's daddy, and that rascally wrench himself. The great Fanty outside Fanty! And let's see who else is here with us in the chat. Run that back a little bit. Let's see here. Sorry. There we go. All right. Larry, what's up, buddy?
Larry, a man so kind. You ought to say his name twice. Larry, I love you so much. It's so good to see you. So happy you're here.
Larry, good to see you, buddy. Joseph Dredd, here comes the judge.
Dredd.
Gwagnar's here.
Gwagnar.
I can't get enough of that. Could not be reached for further comment. I'm glad you could be reached to be here. Thank you so much. Herc 130.
Hey, where's the tequila? First contact, baby.
I don't know. Oh, that.
Yeah.
Sean Carter.
Sean Carter from Mars.
Oh, yeah.
Go check out his YouTube because he's a heck of a cool cat. We love him.
Alaric Harrison. Hello. Dave C. What's up, buddy?
Dave.
Sorry, Dave. I'll never do it again, I promise.
That was majestic.
That was rude. Let's see, up in here. Oh, thank you for the super chat. The great Eric K says, "I'm convinced only YouTubers watch the crap." Man,
right?
Could be. They are the only ones supporting the shite. Let it die in silent death.
That's
You
right.
gotta watch it if you're gonna talk about it, though.
Yep.
And I hate getting I hate getting into that fight with people. Look, I choose to actually no. If I were not a YouTuber, I would still want to go see this movie to make up my mind about it.
I would
Not
still
let
see
anyone
it
else.
either way.
I don't want anyone else making up my mind for me. I want to go watch it myself. But yeah. Anyway, Michael Beacom, what's up, buddy?
Good evening, Michael and Cassandra.
Indeed, good to see you. Ray Lucard, hello there, Ray. Welcome. I don't know if I've seen you
Ray.
here before. Yeah. Let's see here. Cardinal Sin, Ray. Ray from Into the Fringe raid. Hey, buddy. Good to see you there, Gil. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Let's see. Kaylee Chow, Roll Tide.
Kaylee!
Oh, wow. He says,
What?
we can talk if you want. I'm upset over it. Not in a joking way, like really upset. I will do the comic stream tomorrow. That is good. It's good about the comics, the indie comics.
Is
Hey,
that
look,
Jay
J-Man,
talking like that?
Yes. J-Man, look, dude, and all I can see why you're not in a joking mood about it. We're going to talk about the movie once we do our shout outs, but I hear you, buddy. Let's see.
Happy-go-lucky Jay is
Yeah,
angry? Like when? I've never even known Jay to be even slightly cross. Never mind so upset that he doesn't even want to talk about it.
No, I mean, it's, I don't blame him. I can't
There
blame
must
him.
have been
That's what I
some
saw.
gooders in there that, uh-oh.
Eli McKinnis, welcome. Good to see you.
Hello.
Boy, that's true. It was torture. I'm with you, Jay, man. We're on the same page here. Anyway, that's everybody now. So we'll start out with that, I guess. I won't do any spoilers. This movie spoils itself, but not that anyone cares. But we won't have to do any two spoilers, and we won't have to go into it too long. I'm just going to say that, J-Man, it felt like that. It felt like watching, and it was very Last Jedi. It felt like I was watching an old friend just being run through the gutter. I mean, absolutely being tortured. It was The Kingdom of the Crystal Numbskull is a stupid movie. Has a lot of dumbass shite in it. It shouldn't have been made. This is way worse as far as shouldn't be made. This one, the first half hour or 40 minutes, even when What's Her Face first shows up, I was still willing to give it a chance. And it really just, as it started rolling downhill, it just, rolling uphill. That's and there's a key right there. And Indiana Jones from hello there, Fiona. Welcome, Fiona. At no point.
Good evening, Your Majesty.
Good to see you.
Yeah, Fiona.
I love what he says here. At no point in that movie did anything remotely cool happen. Not one thing. That is so true. Nothing. Not zero. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Ray,
I have to agree with that. Yeah.
Ray Lucard, thank you for that. But Donnie Pearson, hey there. I mean, I can name a couple of things in Crystal Numbskull that I thought were semi okay, like the opening action sequence before he ended up in the stupid desert nuclear test facility. That was a fairly Indiana Jones type of an action sequence. Some of the other action sequences were decent. He gave something of an energetic performance in the movie in spite of it deteriorating into some really silly stuff meaning the Crystal Skull. This one, I mean, it is sheer torture to watch. It is putrid. Every frame of it made me want to chew my own face off. I'm sitting there going, I can't wait till this is over. It's degradation. It's dumb. It's sad. It's not even so much dumb. It's pathetic. It's taking this character, and the one thing that Last Jedi has over it is there are a lot of other scenes where the whole movie isn't focused on Luke. You keep cutting back to him, and it's horrible. This movie, it's all him just about. And then you have this Phoebe Waller creature just really disgracing him, being annoying and being just taking over. She's just, I don't know. I mean, he's in the whole thing. It's his movie. It's just, what is Joseph? It's not even close. What is worse, Indy 5 or The Flash? Indy 5 is worse. The Flash is just sort of not. It's not well written. There's nothing any particularly great in it at all, and there's a lot of. It's a messed up movie. It's a mess of a movie. There's nothing particularly interesting or clever about the Flash movie. It's dull. It's silly. It's got a lot of faults, but I wasn't angry when I walked out. I was just like, it's got so many things wrong with it. A extremely flawed movie is one thing. Crystal Numbskull is an extremely flawed movie. And even a bad movie is one thing. This movie was, to watch this happen to this character, to see him drag through the mud when it's like you go to the old folks home or the retirement home and pull some old man out of there and then run him through the gutter just to humiliate him. That's what I felt like was happening to Indiana Jones. Dumb, boring, lifeless chases that are not even remotely interesting. It's pure. I mean, halfway through it, I'm like, oh God, this is not going to be over for another 5 hours. You feel every minute of this movie, in my opinion. Now, Mark doesn't agree, but that's my basic.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was that bad.
We're not spoiling anything. I'm just giving you my basic opinion. Now I will let Mark give his opinion.
Well, I did like the opening. I did like that flashback, but as J-Man says, and I agree with you, there's no great action piece where we've got Indiana Jones and with the boulder running down and he's breaking into the tomb there. But the opening was good, and I thought the CGI was well done. De-aging Ford, I think, was the best I've seen so far. But it was a very much per rote train action sequence. It wasn't bad. It was fun, but it wasn't. There was nothing unusual, or you'd say, "Oh wow, that was inventive," or they put a new spin on that classic train scene. And he's also, excuse me, tied up in the beginning of the movie. He's captured by Yahtzees, and this is all minor sport. You've seen this in the trailer, so it's not minor stuff. And there's a big explosion, and my joke was he in this refrigerator again? Because all the Yahtzees got blown up or blown away. Like, why did he not get blown away? So silly stuff like that sometimes you can forgive in an indie movie. But I did like the opening, and then they do kind of explain. We're not going to do spoilers why. Marion and Mutt are not around. You might like that or might hate that, but I can't comment on it because I don't want to say what it is. So because let people see the movie. So without commenting on that, the Mutt explanation I thought was better, but it wasn't, in my opinion. I think that was as bad as but they leave you hanging with that, and then you get the reveal like 3/4 of the way through the movie. They should have given you that in the beginning. And they try to make fun of as an old man. They're blasting Beatles music next door, and they're kind of like he's like the cranky old man, get off my lawn, and it's like it's Moon Day, so that it's set in 1969 where the just had the moon landing because they're having a ticker tape parade, and the horse scene wasn't as bad. The CGI in my theater, it didn't look as bad, and that was okay, but then again, it wasn't like, oh my God, that was an incredible, Indiana Jones scene. And you've seen that in the trailer. That's why I'm referencing that. So but when Waller shows up, it's almost that they want to make you dislike the character on purpose. Now, Willie, a lot of people don't like her character from Temple of Doom, but she was just more of the, comic, relief / foil to Indy, who was, dragging her along on the on the adventure when she didn't want to necessarily be there. So I never really minded her character that much. Plus, she was also incredibly good to look at. Waller's not, any great sex symbol, or in my opinion, maybe she floats other people's boats, but it wasn't like she was this, character. They're like, oh wow. And then you could see where they set her up. They were, without getting again into spoilers, where there was a definite opportunity there where it looked like, she was a self-insert, as we said, and they could have left Indy behind. Yeah. So I wonder if they did film that, because John Williams said they were filming
they did
a new ending.
Reshoot a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So you wonder, I'm sure it was that ending. But
hey, Ezra Goldstein, shalom.
Oh, Michael Beacom's got a super chat. If I want to put that up.
Okay,
yep.
Michael Beacom, thank you so much for the super chat.
Shalom.
He says, good to see you, Ezra. Thank you for being here. He says, Michael Beacom says, thank you, Michael, by the way. He says, when I was a kid, I lived next door to an old folks home. the previews feel like elder abuse. The movie does too, which I saw frequently. Hey, Dad, I need another check signed. Okay, see y'all. Look, thing is about this is some of that stuff that Mark was talking about, how they, him being old Indy. You can make fun. You can make fun of everybody, old, young, whatever, and they could have scenes where they, poke fun at him for being older and all that kind of stuff. I have no problem with that. We gotta have a sense of humor, and Indy could be, you can make jokes about Indy and stuff like that. Problem is, none of the in humor in this movie, none of it lands. It's all forced. It's just bad. None of it is funny. There's never at one time. That's not even because even in the worst, even in
you see Sala.
Even in Kristen, Sala's not even funny, and he's pathetic. But nobody, and even in Indiana Jones films, there are funny bits in all of them. Even the stupid, Indy 4, Numbskull. There's nothing funny in this one. And I like Willie Scott. I know she was supposed to be. Here's the problem: some people get so wrapped up in a movie that if a character that is supposed to be annoying is annoying, they hate the actor. She's the worst. But in that story, you were supposed to be annoyed by the character. That was the point of the character. Willie's supposed to be annoying, and she is annoying. She's also hot. She's cute, and by the way, she has kind of a good point in some cases because he dragged her all over the place and got her in all kind of trouble. So,
Steven Spielberg is fond of saying, he ended up with the girl in the end, not Indy.
Yeah, she got dragged along and fought her. Yeah, she fought through $300 to save Indy. That's right. I mean, look, I liked her. I mean, again, she's not Mary and she's different. And yes, she's annoying, but she's kind of supposed to be. Whereas Phoebe Waller-Bridge, again, in her first few scenes, when she's just, glad to see him and they're all buddy-buddy, they're chummy because she hadn't seen her since she was a kid. Him since she was a kid. He's her godfather. They had a couple of good moments between them where you're going, maybe she's not going to be I thought maybe she's not going to be as annoying as everyone said in this movie because she was being respectful and being, loving to him and all that stuff. But it all turned out to be an act for her own selfish reasons, and which is, again, all fine in a good story. But in this, she immediately switches into annoyance overdrive to the point where it's like, oh my God, I hate her. She's so annoying and loathsome. And again, I'm not being hypocritical saying, a character's supposed to be annoying. She wasn't. She was supposed to be clever and supposed to be a foil. See, they weren't writing her like Willie was being annoying. They weren't writing her to be annoying. They thought they were writing her as a clever foil for him. But what they turned her into is a snarky, smarmy bitch who treated him like shit and was not a good person. She has this silly pseudo redemption arc later in the movie. By that time, you don't give a shit about her because you don't care.
Doesn't make sense.
And in fairness, it doesn't make sense. And in fairness, the movie's so horrible and boring, you don't even care whether she's redeemed or not. I mean, she's just whatever, man. You just want her to go away.
You're watching the movie, there's a tension there where, when Indy's having an adventure in Short Round and Willie, maybe there's some, comedic tension there, but it's not like you're waiting for her to backstab Indy. And it's like, why is he going along with this? And the one line that really irked me, he's like, well, you need me. It's like, why would Indiana Jones ever say that someone needs? It's like, will you please take me along? It's like that line was totally out of character. I don't know if you remember that one or caught that towards the beginning part of the movie where, because he was talking about the languages he knew to translate and
right. Why there were a couple times when they forgot that Indy could speak German and all these other languages. When they were in Tangier, he couldn't speak to these guys. And then later they remembered it again that because Indy could speak every language just about.
Right. Yeah.
He could learn languages. But there were two different times in the movie where Indiana Jones couldn't speak another language, a language that we've seen him speak in other movies, like German for one.
Yeah, that I mean, one thing that
sense.
You could say that he couldn't speak because they would pick up in your accent, because when I tried to speak, that's the only, that's maybe my no prize answer for that, but it was almost like they forgot. And then J-Man saying she's not redeemed anyway. What changed in her attitude? Yeah, I mean, you're right. She really was a really poorly written character.
No.
And the one line when she says, well, you stole this and you stole that, and but that's capitalism, because I'm like, no, that's fascism or communism when you steal from someone, capitalism when the tenet behind capitalism that you make your own way, you make it for yourself, not stealing from other people. So you know that, and then the chase scenes were, you know, you get I guess they're just standard rope car
They're
chase
just
scenes, and
they're
they're trying to make them
dull.
interesting. And they're in scooters, you know, they're in these, you know, three-wheeled scooters that maybe have a top speed, if you're lucky, of
Right.
50 miles an hour. And then they're chasing after a Mercedes 280 SEL 560 model, and there's no way they're going to catch. I mean, maybe you could slow down on the streets, but you know, they're chasing this this car, and then she leaves him for the dust, and in it's just the chase. I mean, it's is it okay of a chase scene? I guess it's okay, but it's then she's got to throw in some, you know, explaining herself to Indiana Jones why she's, you know, girl power stuff, and they're having this
Well,
argument during the chase. It's and like it was
yeah.
so out of place. It pulls you out of the chase, and the sidekick that she's got her own short round.
Yeah, her short round did not have. I mean, he was short round has a personality. This kid didn't.
Yeah, there was no charm to the writing of the character. He had a
Not the
couple
kid's
of
fault, but
not the kid's fault. Yeah, a couple of nice moments in the movie, but for the most part, just the writing's not there.
well,
But
one thing I'll give him. Look, this is one of the reasons why my first and foremost thoughts on this movie is it shouldn't have been made. Yeah, those chase scenes we're talking about were uninspired. But an Indiana Jones movie, you do expect a bunch of chase scenes. They got to be there. It's not an Indiana Jones movie, so they're kind of a rock and a hard place type thing. However, that's why nobody needed this movie. It was absolutely nobody clamoring for it after that fourth one. It's a movie that even if you didn't hate it as much as I did or Jay did or whatever, it did not need to be made. And the reason is because even if those were fairly exciting chase scenes and they were pretty boring, it's just you've seen it all before. I mean, how many times can we see Indiana Jones do this stuff? But when he's doing it, the character is supposed to be like 71, 72 years old right now in this movie. And who wants to see that? Who wanted to see him? I mean, if you talk to anybody, any Indiana Jones fans who loves the only three movies that count, and even some people who just didn't even mind the fourth one, if that's the case, I'm sure somebody out there didn't mind the fourth one. Even if there's someone who's a big Indiana Jones fan, and you said to them, look, and they didn't know about this movie, right? And here we are like 10, 13 years later. Do you think they should make an Indiana Jones 5? Everyone's going to say, nah, it's just too late. I mean, if they went back, I hate reboots, you know me, but I'm just saying, back and started over again, I don't even think they should do that, to be honest.
Chris Pratt.
But if they said, do you think Indiana Jones at 70-something, the character's 70, he's 80-something, should make another one, everybody say, nah, kind of hang it up. Just don't do it. In other words, no one was
the first
clamoring.
3 Indiana Jones movies.
I love them too.
I loved the first 3. I thought they were marvelous. For a time, I thought, oh, you know, maybe I should study archaeology. I really liked the first 3 movies. But you know, the thing is that I was, you know, I grew up in the 70s, so I have never grasped onto the concept of sequels. In the 80s, I remember critics totally mocking sequels. Like it was a big thing. It was seen as weak sauce. It was seen as bad. Almost everyone knew that it was going to suck, and so it was something that started 3D. It started to happen only with the cheesier, campier cult favorites, and mostly horror movies. But I mean, it was very taboo, especially around, like, I don't know, the heyday, like 82 to 84. Like, you're not going to hear people saying, oh, you know, like they're going to do a sequel of this, a sequel of this. It was seen as something very dangerous. And now it's like you could have Indiana Jones, you know, 502. Like, we used to make fun of the Halloween movies, you know, when we were teenagers. We were like, okay, so what's next? You know,
I remember that. Yeah.
You know, like Halloween, at the Jerry Lewis telethon. That was the joke we used to tell back then. Like, they were running out of situations to put these murderers in. And so, like, I just find it so crazy that our culture has changed so much, because now Hollywood is completely reliant upon the sequel. They're completely reliant upon the reboot. And I love what you just said, Clobby, because I absolutely loved the Indiana Jones, the first 3 films. I was in my library reading National Geographic almost every day. It was huge for me. but I have no interest in this. I don't know what it is, and I don't care. It's not Indiana Jones, though. It's corporate something, and it smells.
It's pathetic, but again, but in this specific case, it's a sequel. Like for example, in 1990, after 89 was the Last Crusade, the last movie.
Yeah.
I wanted another one a few years. I wanted them to wait a couple years to do another one, at least 2 or 3 more. Maybe if we could have got 6 movies in when Harrison Ford was in his prime, and then done. Never again. That's what I would love to have seen. But I'm just saying, even if you're a big fan of whatever of those films you're a fan of, if they did a survey and asked hello Pop Culture Republic, good to see you.
Hey,
Ask
Pop.
everybody. Do you think they need at this stage? Do you think in 2023 there needs to be an Indiana Jones 5 with an 80-something-year-old Harrison Ford? Even though you love him and you love it, Matthew Pounder, good to see you. Yeah, everyone's going to say no, hang it up, and they might even call for a reboot. I'm not, you know me, but I'm just saying they might say, yeah, later on down the road, do new movies with somebody else. I'm against that, but many people are for that. I'm saying that's a better idea than having an 80-something-year-old.
And all the play
Indiana
is gone.
Jones.
All the play is gone. Okay, so like doing all these sequels, super, super dangerous. It was not the norm, but on the outside of norm, and super, super dangerous. How I remember Indy is in the movie theater. I had a great time. It was excellent. And all I thought of is this guy a professor or is this guy a thief? Is he going to take this to a museum or is he going to take it to the highest bidder? And that's what really made him stand out. Here he's this archaeological professor, and you don't know if he's good or if he's bad. You don't know if he's in for the adventure or if he just wants to secretly cash in and keep the money. And that's the tension in that story. That was the tension for true Indiana Jones fans. Now it's a completely different beast. It's the same as what happened with Star Wars. Incredibly dangerous to do more than one film. And I think 3 was the max for Star Wars. I don't think there can be anything after that can be taken seriously. I'd like to see a return to the culture we had in the 80s where sequels are seen as incredibly dangerous territory. You want to avoid that. That's usually what horror movies do, cult classics do, cheesy, shite movies usually do that. And I think we need a return to that attitude. Then I think there'll be more care and consideration if they do try to do these sequels. Sequels and reboots should not be the norm.
Ravenscroft, welcome. Good to see you, my friend.
Hail, Ravenscroft. Yeah.
I think that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that. Yeah, I think that sequels have their time and place. But if you look at the top 10 movies from this year, it's either we were going over the other night. It's either a Marvel or some kind of genre movie, right? There's nothing original. It's either Mario is the #1 movie. It's still, but it's a computer. Video game property, but not knocking it. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's a fun movie. But yeah, this movie, I mean, Indy holds a special place in my heart too, because that was something I got to share with my dad. So I that was one of the few movies he'd want to go see. Go to a movie theater. It's like, I don't want to see that Star Trek. It's crap. It's all crap. It's fake. That crap Star Trek. He would tease me about loving Star Trek. But Indy was, it's a pulp hero. It's what a lot of that older generation, World War II generation, grew up with. Doc Savage type characters, and Indy is in some ways distillation of that character, I think. And that's what's fun about it. You go to the movie theater, you have a good time, and of course, the old serials, they were basically, it was kind of the same story probably over and over, but you rooted for your heroes, you had fun. It was a simple movie. In a good way. You didn't want to have, in between an argument about capitalism and who's grave robbing or putting things in museums or, stealing things. And that modern day stuff. By the way.
Good
night, J-Man. Hope you
Later,
feel
buddy.
better. Yep. And did they really need to make this movie? No. I mean, Harrison Ford, for his age, I think, he's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing the shape that he's in and his surprise but it's still, it's not believable for fighting like he is, and he gets the damage that he takes in this movie. Although I guess they kind of made the stunts a little bit, you know, uh, as not as outlandish, I guess, as maybe the Crystal Skull. But I don't think
Or
any he can't
Picard
reboot.
flying through the air for 100 feet from a concussive
yeah.
bomb that looked like Hiroshima
before he was
or
before he was a
Hiroshima, however
robot.
you want to say it,
Yeah.
depending on what country you're from.
Darth Morgoth. Sorry, I always mess it up. The second, welcome. Good to see you, Darth. Only a master deviant, Darth.
Hail. Oh, and Mr. Angel's so tired he's got to go back to sleep.
Angel's
5 in the
here. I know
morning.
he was
Take
here.
care, Mr. Angel.
Are
Yes.
you still in hospital? If you are, I just want to send you a soft, warm hug, Mr. Angel. Chef, please get better. Go and rest. I'm kind of glad that you're tired. Can you please go sleep?
Yep.
Yeah, go
sleep,
go
please.
better. Yep.
Chef. Good to see you there,
Don't listen to us, or maybe we'll put you to sleep.
Yeah, man, we will.
Yeah. So see, this is what happened to Indy in this last movie. The years were not kind to him, unfortunately. Yeah, I usually used to think that I'd like to see sequel and continue my characters, but after seeing what they did with Star Trek, and I don't think anyone else can play Indiana Jones. I mean, as old as he
Not for
is,
me,
he's just got the nuances of the character, the speech delivery, the look on his face, the character expressions. It's just the way he models when he runs, his hips are wide open. That's Harrison Ford. That's Indiana Jones.
Harrison Ford runs in those movies. He runs like the firewalkers in Hawaii.
I think it runs he's like sideways running. Yeah.
Yeah, he runs like a firewalker in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's how he runs normally. He has a hysterical walk. But yeah, the thing is that at the beginning of all of this, everyone's like, oh, corporations, they're trying to squeeze every last dollar out of these IPs. And everybody's talking about, the nostalgia factor and how that will bring the old fans. But if they add a whole bunch of presentism, it will attract new fans and it will refresh and renew the IP. And that's why I put Ravenscroft 82 up on the marquee. I am supposed to be the person that they're trying to capture. And that is like a woman. Okay. So they want to get the female audience. And this was their battle cry at the beginning of all of this, like especially intensely about 3 years ago. And they haven't attracted me. And the thing is I'm an old nerd. I've been a nerd my whole life. If I wanted to be a part of this, I would, but I choose not to because I know it's shite. There are only 3 Star Wars movies. There are only 3 Indiana Jones movies. And after that, it just blends into corporate shite. And people need to stop watching it. Just don't go to it anymore. And we also need a response from media that is characteristically sincere. It must return to an earnestness that doesn't involve pleasing the corporations. We need to get back to people writing newspaper and magazine articles about what a precarious position it is to be in to wind up having to do a sequel or a reboot, that they ought not to do it, that it's very smelly fish. So how are you going to cover up the odor? And once we turn it back to that, I think we'll see a huge improvement. But do I categorically see physical evidence for all of these women that were supposed to instantly like all of this stuff because of the presentism, because of the ideology, because of the hyperdidacticism? No, I don't see that. Do I see, just the entire female audience, the entire psychographic and demographic shift? Do I see 500 women lined up at a comic book store to get She-Hulk? No, that didn't happen. I mean, it was a nice try, but give it up. Stop now. No. It's okay that there are dedicated psychographics and demographics for certain genres and even certain characters. Let it go. No one wants to see this crap. No one. Not the old fans, not the quote unquote new fans that don't actually exist. Just stop. Write a new story. That's a great idea. Has anybody thought about that? Write a news story.
No.
Call me up. I got quite a few for you.
Well, that's when
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy. Although we don't talk about that stuff that much here, but I didn't follow that as much stuff as closely when they started the new, the sequels, and then later on you saw the Forces female shirts, and I was thinking, God, I mean, my sister and I, when we saw Star Wars in '77, she loved Leia. I thought Luke and Han and Chewie. Well, I loved Chewie the most. Probably was cool cats. And but Star Wars is predominantly a boys movie. Not the girls couldn't like it or enjoy it, but I don't remember any girls
Okay,
in
you
my
don't have to
school trading.
apologize here
No, I'm not.
because
Yeah,
you need to get away from that because you've been trained to be that way. Here, let's only talk about facts. And if you go
Yeah.
and you look at the actual facts and you look at the psychographics, you look at the demographics published by the corporation, you can actually see who this audience is. Like Marvel. Marvel is predominantly, overwhelmingly, the audience is men and boys, and many of them come from poverty. So you're talking about people not just the working class, but the working poor. That's who watches and reads Marvel. So all of this crap that they're doing is delusional. And they're taking advantage of the fact that many YouTubers aren't aware of the marketing strategies behind publishing, that authors are trained in university to say or to say out loud before they write, who's this for? Who's the audience? And to pretend like there is no genre, there's no demographic, there's no psychographic, you're just writing for everyone, is complete and utter bullshit. It is an absolute fabrication. It is a delusional way of thinking. It doesn't work. When something is for everyone, it's for no one. No one watches it. We know this. I was taught this in university. I don't know where this came from, but I can definitely tell you that it's being exploited in the average viewer who does not have the education or the vocabulary to articulate what's happening to them. It's so annoying. There's a genre. There's a demographic. There's a psychographic. Just go with it. Write for that audience without shame.
Yeah, and they were trying to shift Star Wars, to be more girl-centric, I guess, and look where they got him. And I was going to say, I don't remember trading Star Wars cards with any of the girls in my class, or talking about action figures, or trading action figures or toys, or giving those out as toys. So, so girls could be obviously could be fans of Star Wars, and like my sister enjoyed it, but she never wanted any of the toys, or wanted it. It was all the guys and the young guys that bought all the ships and the action figures. And to this day, I'll still, if I see a Princess Leia figure or something funny, I'll buy it for her and give it to her as a joke, like a joke Christmas gift, because we're not supposed to buy each other gifts. So this year I gave her a Funko Pop Princess Leia Hungry Boy, so she was very happy with that, just so you know. But but that's when you try to make something appeal to something it's not. The same thing with the comics. They flipped all the characters around so they had female leads. So it's not that you'd never had, Spider-Girl is one of my favorite comics to read probably in the last 20 years, but that wasn't at the expense of other characters. Then you had a female Iron Man, then you had Thor got replaced. You had
and all of it was done in hypocrisy. Here we're supposed to have this She-Hulk who is they masculinized. They tried to make She-Hulk more masculine, less feminine, and their declaration was this emancipation from this misogyny, this systemic misogynistic property, intellectual property. And then what do I see? Someone shows me a clip of it, and it's two women, one who looks incredibly masculine, and the other who is slightly obese. By 1970s standards, she would be fully obese, and they're dry humping the air like strippers at like a low end peeler club. Where was this emancipation? Where was the semiology to shift the narrative away from this misogyny that they saw. So they didn't deliver on their promise anyway. So it was all hypocrisy, because a corporation doesn't have a conscience, and putting a corporation in charge of our arts, our entertainment, and our culture is absolutely absurd. A corporation is a whole bunch of people together who put someone in charge to make money. A corporation isn't a human being. It has no conscience. It doesn't care about you. It only cares about money. And so we need to start empowering people with that language so that they can articulate why they hate this crap and why it doesn't resonate with them. No one, there's absolutely no way you're ever going to get me to watch She-Hulk just simply because of that. I don't identify masculinity as feminist. I don't think I have to, behave in a more masculine way or appear masculine in order to appear powerful. Masculinity isn't power to me. And the dry humping like a stripper you throw loonies at, that's supposed to be feminist? Give me a break. Give me a break.
Shout out to a newcomer, Thomas Bartoldi. Did I say that right? Bartholdi. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I don't know if I've seen your Thomas, but it's good to see you. Welcome to you, sir. Good to see you. Very always great to have someone pop into Clobbering Time that we haven't met before. I hope you're doing well. Great.
Nice to meet you, Thomas.
Simply Steve, buddy. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, yeah, like what Fiona said. Basically, girls didn't start liking Star Wars until the boys who saw the movie at the time grew up and started having children and shared that with their daughters. My dad didn't have Star Wars gal pals. I do.
That's Fiona, you're getting into something that is the truth of being a nerd girl or being a nerd geek. I mean, this culture of social media has cultivated nerd and geek as a branding mechanism that is ubiquitous. And as you well know, if you grew up like a nerd, if you grew up as a nerd or a geek, then you know what I know. And that is that you were sitting at the back of the bus with 10 boys talking about Star Trek. There were no girls around, and it wasn't a girl thing. And that's just the reality of it. A very small segment of the female population liked Star Wars growing up and liked Star Trek growing up. That's just true. I mean,
I didn't know any.
If I'm good, yeah, and that's normal that you didn't know any. But when I was growing up, most girls wanted to go and see the romantic comedies. I would rather be lit on fire. So,
16 candles.
Yeah, and they loved
Pretty in
all
pink.
that, and they loved all of that stuff. So, if you're standing at the movie theater when you're young, and there are only 2 movies to choose, or you walk from across the street to one movie and across the street to the other movie, you've only got 2 to choose from. And the girls always chose the romantic comedies. It's not like, like when I watched Star Wars and I went to, back to school that day to talk about it with my classmates, that all the girls were, abuzz over what they saw. Give me a break. That's a bunch of horse poo. It's not true. It's not true. Every single girl in my school thought that I was a gigantic weirdo because I was sitting with a bunch of guys talking about Star Trek. They thought I was an absolute complete weirdo.
I'm not going to argue there. That's very unusual for back in the day, right?
It was different.
Yeah.
But when a guy did see that, he was happy. He was like, "Whoa,
yeah,
a girl who likes geek stuff, yes." There you go.
Well, that's the old joke about a girl going to the comic book store, like, they're not welcome in a comic. Like, are you crazy?
No.
Oh my God, guys, there's a girl here. Let's treat her. Let's roll off the red carpet. Yeah.
My kids exist because one of like 4, maybe 5 women were at a con in the mid 80s, and that I went to, but there weren't a lot of them there though, and I struck up a conversation with her and a friendship and that sort of thing, but there weren't many. And the few that did walk through there, most of the geeks guys were so shocked. They were terrified to talk to any of them. So,
and that's true.
Man. So yeah.
And
anyway,
that's
different
true.
times. we as time went on, you still didn't see 'em at comic shops as much, but when cons got bigger into the 90s and then going into the 2000s, more and more, women started showing up or females started showing up at cons, and you got used to it. But at first, you're like, "Whoa, what the?" And not only did you get used to it, you were pretty happy about it. But of course, then you had the con booth babes that were getting hired that were just there to hire to be there.
Yeah.
And a lot of some geeks were dumb enough to complain about that. And I was like, hey, I don't have a problem with it at all. Are you nuts? They're fine. Hey, but she's not a real geek. Who cares? Idiot.
Yeah, and
She's
that
real
is
woman.
a subculture at the cons that people need to
But they
realize.
don't have it as much anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, but there are lots of girls who have discovered that if they're on their Instagram and they post sexy pictures of themselves,
Oh, well, yeah.
with with costumes on,
Guys would
and
look at that. They would
yes,
pay attention to that. They would.
Are you
Oh,
saying
But-
guys would look at that stuff?
yes. So that is
shocked,
that is
shocked.
a subculture within the nerd culture and
Right.
within the geek culture. So you can see lots of booth babes. You can also see a lot of like IG girls around who are making their money, trying to boost their image, and that's their full-time job. Instagram and other streaming services where they talk and smile and
Yeah.
and are scantily clad, and that's a part of it. But Clubby, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's just, to me, it's absolutely absurd, because what it does is it tries to rewrite history. When I walk into a comic book shop and I'm looking for something from Star Trek, there are 30 men in the store. They're all nerds or geeks, and there is those are two distinct social groups, and there are no women, none. And to pretend like, 500 women were going to line up to buy She-Hulk comics, it's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's dumb.
They still, and they're still deluded, a lot of these people. Retro Blasting, my good buddy Michael, what's up, bro? Good to see you.
Hell.
He says, what the hell is that potato head doing there? Dead stare, bereft of hope. Well, this is the best Indiana Jones thing I've seen all day. It's really the
I also
only-
have this one too.
Did he get
Haters
punched
will
in the
start.
face in an MMA match? What's wrong with his nose?
Yeah, he's
He looks like
Oh, there you go.
he looks like he took a good shot from Anderson Silva there.
yeah. Well, at least that's actually, I mean, that scene right there is better than anything I just in that unbelievably horrible garbage movie I just sat through. Wow. By the way, my buddy Michael, I'm not going to try to warn you or anything. You're going to see what you're going to see, but buddy,
Has he seen it yet?
I don't think so, but maybe he will. I mean, I don't know. Holy God. No. Is it? Whew. Anyway, Michael Beacom says, Clobbering Times, Ryan Briggs.
Yeah.
There are women who make a good living as cosplayers. You can be a world-class costume designer and maker, but need someone else to model that vampire outfit that you made. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. I know some, actually. Fiona said, oh, did you see my message on your YouTube video? Okay, she's asking Retro Blast.
I like what she said earlier. Fiona says, I know a lot of women that pretend to be nerds in order to try and get attention and money. Yeah, it's I was actually going to do a thesis on it originally, because I could not, well, there were a couple of things. I really liked the nostalgia epidemic that was emerging in, around 2012, and then this self-branding thing that was going on in social media, where everyone was saying they were a geek or a nerd. But Fiona, the best way that I can tell you as a social scientist to combat that is, firstly, no one can be a nerd if they're anti-academic. Nerds are lifelong academics. That is, by definition, what a nerd is. There's no getting around it. That's what a nerd is. That's what a nerd does. And there is a whole there are plenty of manuscripts and studies on what nerddom actually is and what kind of a cultural tribe that is. And then geeks are completely different. Geeks are absolutely like pop culture
Schlubs like me. Yeah.
They're brilliant people who know about merchandise, about toys, about value in merchandise and toys, modeling. They collect T-shirts. They know about television. They have like photographic memories when it comes to film, and film culture and film production, and it's quite extraordinary. But those are two distinct social groups studied quite heavily by many talented academics who have documented the difference between those two cultural tribes. So a nerd has to be an academic. So if you aren't lettered and you are not a lifelong academic, chances are you're not a nerd. And if you don't know anything about anything, you're not a geek. It's very easy to get rid of these fake people. And I love that Clubby calls them, cosplay babes or booth babes. I accept them. I think it's good. It's good to have hotness in the cons. Before it used to be like you just wanted to pass out deodorant. So things are getting better. The men now wear deodorant because of booth babes. I'm all for it.
All I have to say to that is if I see any of those,
Get those nerds! 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 What?
Michael's Retroblasting says, I haven't seen it yet. I didn't want to. Then a friend asked me to go with him next week. Looking for an oven big enough for my head. So what you're saying, Michael, is you want me to just hire a sniper. Boom, right there. Boom, put you out of your misery. Before or after you go into the theater.
I'm interested to see his take on Indiana Jones's costume in this movie too, to see how they probably messed it up.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the costume's just irrelevant.
Because as I was watching, I'm like,
you don't really see
looking
it
for
much.
the pleated. I never paid attention to that, but thanks to Retroblasting talking about the costume and how they screwed it up. I'm looking for the shirt, and I was like, I didn't catch that in the new movie. I guess maybe he's got
Brian Hepburn. Yeah.
But
no, I didn't either.
Yeah.
Brian Hepburn.
Brian.
Michael, if you want, I'll go to that wherever theater you go see it, and I'll see if I can, pull some sabotage.
JJ Kirk.
Go after JT Kirk. What's up, bud?
Well, my movie theater almost didn't happen, right? Because if you saw my tweet, it was
that was amusing.
That the Windows 8 had crashed, I guess. So they finally got the movie rolling just in the nick of time.
The costume blows. I don't have to see it to know that. Yeah, it. Oh, good Lord, it is. Hey, the costume is the least of the problems of this movie, dude. I mean, the costume's like, who gives a crap? Costume, and you just want it to stop. But I'm really shocked that J-Man, our buddy J-Man. I thought because he's unpredictable, which is cool, by the way.
Yeah, because he loved the Flash. Right?
I mean, he liked it. Yeah,
he liked it. He didn't love it.
He liked it. Well,
liked it. Okay.
Use any words you want, but I mean, he liked it. I mean, which is fine. He liked some stuff that we disagree on some stuff, but I'll talk to him about this when I get a chance, I guess. But anyway, I guess we've talked about this stupid ass movie. All I can tell you in closing, everyone, we didn't do anything particularly spoilery, but it comes pre-spoil. But I mean, I knew everything going in because it was all over the place. Everyone was talking about this thing. What's that? Oh, the costume apathy is the canary in the coal mine for the rest of the production. No. Yes. Good one.
Oh no.
So
I can tell you off in my head. Oh no.
To sum up on this movie before we get to our next topic, in Banana Jones and the rotary dial of density.
Well, these kids learn how to use a rotary phone in this movie.
Oh God.
Is a steaming pile of horse manure. But it's more. You know what? I don't even care. Bad movies are one thing. I can handle a bad movie. Yeah, this is like watching an old friend. See, I didn't get this feeling when I watched when Crystal Numbskull would just say, okay, it's a really bad movie with Indiana Jones in it. Blech. This is like watching Indiana Jones tortured to death for me.
Oh,
That's what it felt like. Just like Jay said, he thought it was worse than The Last Jedi. He might be right, because at least The Last Jedi cut away to some other lousy, boring nonsense. Last Jedi is a horrible movie.
Yeah, but they assassinated
it's a bad,
Luke's
bad movie.
But
they assassinated Luke's character, but Luke's not in every scene. So they keep going back and ruin. I hate it. It's horrible. There's almost no time when he's not on the screen, and you have to watch him looking miserable, looking like his life is over, like he's just in the worst, and he has to go on an annoying adventure to. I'm sorry to spoil it, folks, to clear himself of dumb charges that they don't even finish. They don't even answer it at all.
What happened at the end? That was totally unresolved at the end of the movie.
He's forced to go on this mission, on this adventure.
I guess we can't talk without spoiling, but that was a plot
they didn't
thread
resolve it.
Wide open. Yeah,
and say what you look. People were bitching about interdimensional aliens for the fourth movie. Well, this has time travel in it. Captain Infinity, where are you?
Yeah.
It's really stupid time travel. Really, it's garbage. It's not. I mean, it just gets worse and worse. And for the first 40-something minutes, I didn't like it or anything, but I was willing to see it improve or at least not be so bad. And then it just, man, at some point when she comes along, in their first couple of scenes, she's just being normal, being nice to him. They knew it, and she's his goddaughter, and they've been seeing each other in all these years. I'm like, okay, all right, sure. I mean, yes, Andy's old, but they're treating him. I mean, he's acting like he would when he's old, but he's not being pathetic. And then it jumps into this weird gear, or it goes into the low gear and says, let's slow motion torture this character to death now and make him look horrible, make him look stupid, make him look like he doesn't give a crap about being alive. And let's make her even more annoying than you thought she could be. Screw this movie.
Boss, Scott's here and he sent you a gift. I thought you should know.
Oh, I see it. Why would I not know that? Anyway, thank you, seriously. Scott Knudsen for $4.99 says, Crystal Numbskull was awful, but the intent behind it was honest. Yeah, I mean, they were just trying to make an entertaining movie. And exactly, they screwed it up. They were generally trying to tell a story, not tear down the character. I absolutely agree with that, Scott. A movie can be a screw up. Whereas again, Ruins Johnson was trying to destroy Luke Skywalker, and that's
what he set out to do.
Just like Jar Jar Abrams destroyed Han Solo, with the help, by the way, of Harrison Ford.
Well, Ravenscroft is saying they want to destroy all of our heroes. That's all there is to it. And Ravenscroft, when in 2017, I would have thought that you were some type of conspiracy nut, but since I have witnessed corporations begin to devour all of these stories and introduce this hyperdidacticism and this corporate hegemony, that's just fancy scholar talk for trying to shape culture and trying to be like the moral and ethical instruction of society. They want to shape ideology, and they want to shape it in the image of the corporation. I have since, shifted what I think a little bit, because, if Hollywood becomes an instrument for shaping and controlling the culture in North America and abroad in far more deliberately partisan ways and in transformative ways where it's not natural, art isn't reflecting the culture, art is creating the culture, then I agree with you. And it's quite dangerous, because there's something different happening in this generation than what was happening before. And that is that corporations benefited from the artistic creations of people. Now it's just corporations making stuff for people. It's a scary situation.
Nope. I heard.
You there?
Oh, I'm here. Yeah, no, I thought I heard Raquel. I guess there's something in the background, so she cut her mic, I guess. Yep.
So Fiona with the $2 super chat, thank you so much. Says the film hated its main character in the audience. That is, and that's. I mean, look, that is so true. And the thing is, it's not even. That's not. I mean, you could debate that, but you're just not going to win that debate. And I know it's difficult to prove stuff like that, but we've seen enough evidence over the years that the scumbags, like Kathleen Kennedy and others, do have nothing but contempt for and hatred for their audience. And then Harrison Ford has been contemptuous of the character of Han Solo. He claims to love Indiana Jones, and he does this to him. So I can only conclude that that's exactly right, Fiona, and it's disgusting. And they have just done to this. But see, they won't see it as destroying this character. But they sure did. Mazers, hey there, dropping in to say hi. Well, hello to you, Mazers. Good to see you, my friend.
Maze!
Thank you so much.
And Larry just gifted 5 Clobbering Times memberships. I know that doesn't
thank
show
you,
up
Larry,
on StreamYard, so I'm showing that. So everyone grabbed those. It looks like a bunch of people
Thanks,
already did
Larry.
grab the 5 memberships. So
Thank you, Larry.
Appreciate you. And thank you again, Mazers and Fiona, for the super chats. Appreciate you. So yeah, look.
So Clobbering Times, are you saying that the time travel plot didn't float? If you catch my very bad pun.
Sure. I'll probably catch the pun later.
You'll catch my pun later. There's no buoyancy to it, but
no.
yeah. And then the at the end, they're trying to solve one of the puzzles, and they're throwing rocks into it, and they're like, it didn't even show what Indy did in that last step there before they revealed what they're going to reveal without spoiling. That didn't make sense either. Now that I'm thinking about it, they were like,
what?
Get into the water, and they didn't really do anything. And then when the picture that they showed didn't jibe with the puzzle there. But anyway,
may I please interrupt for 1 second here? Sorry, I keep turning to the chat, you guys. But Ravenscroft, can somebody please help Ravenscroft? Ravenscroft would like to become a member. If someone could please give Ravenscroft a hand, I would really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. I know Chris is here, Eric's here. I know Larry is as good at walking people through that as well. So if someone could please help, that'd be great. Sorry for interrupting. Please go ahead, Mark.
Victor Fontaine, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Nick!
Yeah, there was nothing. Yeah, I gotta agree. There was nothing like, oh, that was a cool, amazing stunt, or the idea of it, what they were trying to find. There's it's the dial of destiny. There's something going on there. They're going from A to B to C. That part wasn't bad, but there's an underwater scene that was kind of ridiculous, I thought, in terms of they were talking about the bends, but I don't think you can drop down to the ocean that fast, and then nothing cool happened. Like Indy's stuck below the ocean, and
Warrior of Justice, welcome.
Warrior
you're right.
Justice!
You're right. That scene, man, that was a scene where I was about to fall asleep.
But I'm waiting for Indy to do something really cool, right? Where you're waiting for him to do something really cool.
Go in the water, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Everything in this movie is so nothing.
But nothing there was nothing like, oh, Indy did this to get out of this, or like something you could say, well, it was just a kind of a paint by numbers affair on that end. And
every
then
bit of it is so. Retro Blasting says,
"Oh, I messed you up. Sorry."
85. This Indy 5 should have started with Short Round about to take Indy's place as professor of archaeology, and on the day of Indy's retirement, they're both pulled into a last massive adventure. But yes, I would love to have seen something like that. And again, he has somebody with him that's a little bit younger. Again, you don't have to worry about that flea bag.
That was a Kathleen Kennedy self-insert, obviously.
Totally was. Oh, totally was. They figured, she's already killed the James Bond franchise. Let's try to kill this one too. She's a killer, the franchise destructor, almost on the level with Jar Jar Abrams and Ruins Johnson and Alex Klutzman and those. I mean, and Kennedy, of course, Kennedy is one of the top ones as well. So, yeah, it's why
didn't we get Short Round in this movie? We should have had. If this is going to be the last Indy movie,
they had their own little version of it. That little kid who was just lifeless and
Short Round light.
Short Round light, but he had no person. Short Round has to have a personality.
Yeah, it wasn't well. That
Well,
part,
listen.
his part wasn't well written. Yeah.
Yeah, the movie, in my opinion, everybody, the movie's horrific. Go see it at your own peril. But you have been warned, at least here. So,
Or if you're
all
lucky
right.
like me, you can see it for free.
Yeah, but you're gonna see it for free tomorrow.
Well, actually, I guess yeah. Technically, I've seen it half. Yeah, if I'm going tomorrow with the, so it's half off, I guess,
Well,
right? Yeah.
Tomorrow, Retro Blasting says, notice how KK keeps blowing opportunities. No Luke, Leia, and Han together again, and no ending with Shorty. Well, oh, she doesn't care. If she knows the fan wants it, dude, she's gonna do the opposite. She knows that's what fans would want. You talk about hating fans. Nobody hates fans more than that witch. So, all right, everybody. Now move on to a couple of our regular segments that we do each week. Of course, first of all, I will turn this over to my wonderful first officer, number one. Shall we start with Tales of Tomorrow?
Sure, boss. Why not? Let's do it.
Go for it.
Okay, folks. Here at the clubhouse, we celebrate short stories. And this is an example of science fiction short stories to celluloid. We're covering Tales of Tomorrow, or Clubby?
Tales of Tomorrow.
That's right. And this week we are I watched actually last week, but we didn't get to it. Substance X. This first aired on October 3rd, 1952. It was written by Frank de Felita. D, not de. So different, not quite the French with the apostrophe. Anyway, and I wrote a little summary about it because the summary on IMDb isn't even correct. I don't know what that person watched, but it wasn't the same show I watched. A woman is selected by her country's food regulator through a detailed profile to go to her hometown to investigate a strange happening there. The town has closed itself off to society and is no longer importing any food. The government wants to know what they're living off of because surveillance has revealed that they aren't living off the land. So they're not accepting any type of food imports. They're refusing the lorries or the trucks that would deliver food, and they're not out fishing. So the government is watching them, wondering, what the heck are these people eating? They promise this woman big bucks. So she agrees to return home, though she seems reluctant. It's not like she has great relationships there. When she arrives, the woman's mother does not recognize her. Her mother looks quite sickly. The house is a wreck. It's a total mess. And usually her mother is quite tidy. The first thing the daughter does, of course, since she's been sent by this country's food regulator, we would imagine that it would be an American food regulator, although that's not what's said. She immediately asks for food. She's going after samples. A man named Samuel appears as she is going to eat, and clears Selena, this is the daughter's name, to be fed. So Samuel must give her mother permission to give her some of this food. Her mother tells her to keep it a secret. Samuel and her mother tell Selena to imagine what she craves in this inedible blob. Selena imagines steak and strawberries, and that's what she tastes when she samples it. Selena's mother tells her that Samuel is a great scientist. Selena goes to Samuel's lab. Samuel reveals the science in Substance X and claims that he intends to give the technology away for free. Samuel reveals that he doesn't eat Substance X because, of course, he wanted to be the control, or so he says, the control in the experiment. And that Substance X promises to improve health and makes the person who eats it completely disease-free. So you develop total disease immunity and improved health. Samuel reveals that Substance X has destroyed all ambition in those who take it. So this is the one side effect that he can't understand, and he's trying to get it out of the effects. The people whoever imbibes this stuff or eats this stuff, they lose their desire to work, to clean, and even to take care of themselves. So the effects are quite severe. Folks are disheveled, they're living in filth, and they've lost all desire. And the episode makes it explicit that they've lost desire for even simple things that would give human beings joy. So they suddenly become rather emotionally inert. This is why the mother looks sickly, even though she apparently has improved health and total disease immunity. Selena packs her bags, taking samples, and makes her escape. She says, "I'm getting out of here," and she tries to leave. She gets back to the big city where she is supposed to meet with this this country's food regulator, and she immediately surrenders the samples to him. Shortly after, she discovers that she cannot eat. She's unable to eat. All food sort of tastes like scat, literally like feces, fetid, not good. The government official puts it all together without Selena's explanation. And Selena returns home to eat. So she returns to her small town. This is an incredibly cool concept, and what I believe to be an amazing allegory. As many of you know, if you have known me for a number of years, I've been podcasting since 2017. I grew up in abject poverty, so I absolutely love the allegory here. World hunger cannot be solved by abundance, but by or through desire. Choose your preposition. The things we earn hold greater value than the things that we are given freely and in abundance. So, I really like this sort of this take on impoverishment. I like this take on want. Having grown up in abject poverty, pulling myself up by my own bootstraps, one thing that is important is that just because you're poor doesn't mean you're not intelligent, and just because you're poor doesn't mean that you don't have incredibly good morals, that you don't have incredibly good manners, that you don't have incredible desire. Many poor people have this. They just don't have the connections or the money to make that happen. And so that is the message buried in this episode, and not too deeply buried. It's there for all to see, but not in a way that is ham-handed, hokey. You won't, sort of guffaw after watching it because it's so on the nose. You sort of feel that you ought to reject it. So I absolutely loved it. I wish we had more of this type of storytelling in our society. We get rid of covetousness, which is rampant right now, and restore humbleness and the belief in the individual to overcome their obstacles and to be a better person, to be edified, to benefit their society, and to be good for no other reason than that intrinsic value, these intrinsic values rather than extrinsic values, which we are now totally, as a society, we are totally focused on extrinsic value, or having people watch us achieve, watch us succeed, when we ought to have these, intrinsic devotions to not only edifying ourselves, but to doing the right thing even when no one's looking. So it's a 10 out of 10. It's probably one of the best Tales of Tomorrow as far as quality of story goes. And that's all I really care about in Tales of Tomorrow. They only have about 22 minutes to do the episode. I think 29, including the long form commercials. So it's not much to work with. Shoestring budget is laughably high in comparison to how much money these people actually have. There's a beautiful stage-like live community stage quality to these episodes, and this is exceptional. Kids should watch this episode. And that's it. I'll turn it over to Mark and Clobby. Hey, Mark. Hey, Clobby. What'd you think of Substance X?
Mark?
Oh yeah, I really liked it, but I was going to spoil it that the secret of Substance X, it was really clam pizza.
Oh, that's so gross. That's your stupid sea-tongue pizza. That is so disgusting. Also, I love you. That's hysterical.
I figured you actually spoiled the episode. I was gonna have my big reveal. I was gonna be like spoiler, but you spoil. Well, I'm just joking, but that was
It's okay.
yeah, because yeah, it was an episode that makes you think, and just on one level you could just watch it and enjoy it without getting that deeper meaning, which is what good sci-fi and good storytelling does too. There's multiple layers or levels, so yeah, like you said, it's there's really no budget here. It's basically like a stage play as you watch these episodes, and it's very, very truncated because it's so obviously such a short show. Although so when you watch some of these, they have the commercials. I love those old style commercials for Chrysler watch bands. I want to go buy them. I guess they're out of business now.
When the corporation was supporting artists instead of the corporations just being corporate.
Dictating, yeah. But the Substance X, yeah, it's got that that's the terror to it. So this is very very much a Twilight Zone-esque episode. Of course, this predates Twilight Zone, but where there's you find a wonderful substance and it's going to cure world hunger, but the kicker is that you lose your humanity and then you become addicted to it. And you can't eat anything else. So you could take that as a metaphor for drug abuse, alcohol abuse, but the great thing about it is you can interpret it any way you want. They're not banging over the head with it and saying, oh, this is what this is. Substance X is this is what's evil in our world today. But it's leaving you open to interpret it or interpret what you think is wrong or what you think are the what's alien society, or you could just take it as just a horror tale that the scientist was trying to cure hunger and look what happened. Look at the unintended consequences. Yeah, and well, I don't know. Would you call it hubris though? I don't know if it's hubris because it's he's trying to.
No, I'm joking with you, but there would actually be people out there in the audience who would be like, see. That's why you got to keep eating normal food. Don't trust those scientists. They got all that hubris.
On that end,
yeah. It's 100%. You were bang on there. You shouldn't have backed away from it. You were bang on there. There are actual people who would watch this and go,
yeah. And then Chris Berger says, "Yeah, don't worry, no one will become addicted to clam pizza." Well, look at that. Are you sure? Yeah, yeah. Or someone was mentioning Soylent Green. That was the classic. Soylent Green,
which is in the film, but not in the book.
Oh, that's not in the book.
That's Make Room, Make Room.
Okay.
That's the name of the book. Yeah.
That's the name of the book. Yeah. So, but classic episode, and yeah, these are so easy to find. Yeah, just the Internet Archive, YouTube. Yeah, they're in the public domain. So, it's 22 minutes well spent. So. I think everyone would enjoy it. Yep. So I gave it an A too. Yep.
Yay!
There you go. Excellent. Well, there you go.
Did you watch it, Clobbering Times?
I didn't get to see it all. It was like 2 weeks ago now, and something happened. I meant to go back to it, but we didn't get to review. We didn't end up not reviewing it that night because we did something else. And I meant to go back to it this week, and I must admit I didn't I watched. Oh man, I want to say I watched it, but I can't remember much about it. The Raquel refreshed my memory, and I think that may have been the night when my internet went out because I know I had a night last week where I couldn't watch anything and never got back to it. So it was incomplete, but now I want to go watch it, and I will go and watch this one tonight.
Just make sure you don't do it on an empty stomach.
Uh-oh.
Shin kicks.
I've been through enough trauma today.
Raven's Club, please stop showing that picture of pizza. Shutter.
Yes, no more of that.
Gwag's got to leave.
Wagner,
Good
take
night,
it easy, buddy.
everyone. Have a great long
Good night,
weekend.
Ragnar.
Have a good
It's a
one,
long
Gwag.
weekend.
Well, for
Well,
Americans,
yeah,
we have
oh,
4th of
that's right. It's
July.
probably
So,
off tomorrow, July 4th.
yeah, a lot of people
So
are getting
it's actually next week, but a lot of people are getting like the whole
Oh,
weekend
early
off.
Friday.
oh, I
or-
got you.
or
I
Monday,
got you. Hey, Greg. Have a great long weekend, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Indeed.
I enjoyed your company as usual. Good night, sweetheart. Everybody say good night to Greg.
Good night, Gwag. Take it
Like
easy, buddy.
Ragnar.
Greg, nah.
Yeah.
Now you did it.
So now, our next review, folks, is of course Jerry Anderson's UFO. The episode in question is Subsmash.
Yeah.
Bum 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 bum.
Did you want me to read the summary off of Wikipedia?
Yes.
Well, I have the book. I have the book if you want me to do the book.
You
Do we have any
brought-
pictures? Any video?
Yeah,
Any
the book.
visual accompaniment?
Oh, yeah, I got the visual. Yeah, let me get the.
You
let me
brought
switch back.
the sexy book. Did you
I
wash
got
your
the
hands?
sexy book.
Are you
I
wearing
gotta
your,
go put my
Are you
gloves
wearing
on.
your museum gloves?
Oh,
I gotta go
my.
put. I gotta go put my museum gloves on. Yep, yep.
Oh,
Let's
I
get
didn't
this,
realize that we were going to get a long weekend out of it, Chris. And I forgot that Gwag is Canadian. I got to go outside tonight and put up all of my Canada Day decorations. I have like 9 million flags that I need to put up all over my property.
Oh, you guys got one too?
Yeah, I just didn't realize that it was going to, because I haven't switched over to July on my Star Trek calendar yet. I didn't know that it was going to lead to a long weekend.
Ah.
What is the first? Just let me check my my calendar. Hold on. They're only 30 days in June, right? Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Let me get this playing.
The first is next Saturday. This coming Saturday will be the first.
Yeah, it's Saturday. JT Kirk, it's Saturday.
Saturday.
I don't. Holy crap. Weird.
Wish
Okay,
it
well, I don't know
wasn't
why it's a
so
long
good.
weekend, but I also see a couple of the third and the fourth blocked off. I wonder what's going on. It's probably in notice of the American holiday. So it's a long weekend. Yay!
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, let me get my glasses
Day, huh?
because.
Yeah, it's Canada Day on July 1st, boss man.
Nice. Well, if you're celebrating, we don't have to do Saturday Night Star Trek.
Are you celebrating?
It's Canada Day. I'll be right
No.
here. I mean,
The American is the 4th of
yeah,
July.
the 4th, right? So
Yeah.
that'll be like next Tuesday.
No, let's just do it.
I'm just saying,
I
if
mean-
you had something to do,
Yeah,
Your
because I'm
vote's
gonna.
for-
I might have to miss the season finale because I think we're having a big celebration that night.
When's the finale?
unfortunately. So if
this week.
well, the next
not this
the
week,
following
the
week,
week after.
the following week. So if you postpone it a week, that would help me out. But don't do that because of me.
No, I mean only if we're gonna have something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll ask Andrew. I'll find out if he's taking me to the fireworks or what's happening.
Hey, look, not a problem. I'll be right here, and it'll keep. Saturday Night Star
Yeah.
Trek will always keep.
If we're not doing anything, we're rolling on Saturday Night Star Trek. So
All right, well, just let
you
me
know me. I don't even celebrate the New Year's Eve. What am I gonna do? Have one glass of champagne? Good night, all. Good night, everyone.
That's true. Chris says that Clubby
they
has
make-
to celebrate the Canada Day since his first officer is Canadian. That's
Aw,
that's a fair cop.
I should send
I
him.
thought you made everyone watch Star Trek movies for the.
I do for
New Year's,
for-
right?
Yep, for
Christmas.
every holiday. Yeah, I sure do.
And
And I
they
like
still
how
love
you phrased it. You make your family watch it. Yeah. 100 proof. 100 proof. Yeah. I totally do that. It's usually like the big Star Trek movie days are like the bigger holidays like Thanksgiving and Easter and Christmas. Like whenever I can fit them in.
Yep.
Okay,
All right,
so
well, you want me
let's
to do
roll.
the book? Yep.
Well, let me introduce you first, Mark.
Sure.
So this week, from UFO, we are covering Subsmash. Subsmash is season 1, episode 8, ITV. It is prod code 17. We are following the production order. This first broadcast on November 11th, 1970, unless corrected in the vetted book that Mark has. Mark has like the UFO Bible. So whatever he is about to say will be golden. It will be golden.
Okay, so here we go. So, we should get a picture of the book up, cover up eventually, but it's a complete book
cracks about the book.
Jerry. More cracks about the book. Jerry Anderson's UFO. Chris Bentley, forward by Ed Bishop. So the episode, as Raquel said, was Subsmash, teleplay by Alan Fennell, directed by David Lane.
Good night, Michael Bigham.
Take care,
Take
Michael.
it easy, buddy.
Michael, good night, and thank you so much for being here. Be seeing you. Also, can you do me a favor? Can you tell Cassandra that I said hello? Thank you.
All right. So after the Atlantica 4 freighter ship is attacked from below by an unidentified submarine object, Straker decides to make a detailed search of the area and skydiver, accompanying a crew of 4 field experts despite his claustrophobia. As skydiver begins a radar sweep of the search area, Straker and Foster discuss how it would be much easier for the aliens to take human bodies from the middle of the ocean where there would be no witnesses. Suddenly, skydiver comes under attack from the UFO, which damages the submarine's rear section and port motor, preventing it from surfacing. Waterman launches in Sky 1 and pursues the UFO into the atmosphere, successfully destroying the craft. But Skydiver sinks as the turbines fail and the submarine comes to rest on a rock ledge. A marker beacon is launched, but with radio communications down, the crew are completely cut off from Shadow Command. At Shadow HQ, Ford instigates subsmash procedures and Freeman flies to Skydiver's position with a team of rescue divers. On board the submarine, the crew assesses the damage. They have air and power to last 8 hours, but only escape hatch 3 is operative and will take 90 minutes to empty. So they've got to use pumps to empty the escape hatch out so they can get out of the sub. Straker plans that Lieutenant Barry will use the crash dive tube to get out, while Lieutenant Lewis and Chin, Foster, and then Straker will leave through hatch 3. In this way, they can all be out of the sub in 4.5 hours. However, while Lewis escapes via the hatch, the seal of crash dive tube fails to blow, leaving Nina stranded in the tube with the remaining crew, unaware that she's still on board. And that was a terrifying scene we'll talk about later.
Hey, Linrod.
Hey,
Fletcher
Linrod.
Williams. What's up, Fletcher Williams? Good to see you.
Fletcher and Len are here. Len Rod, Hot Rod, good evening.
Hey
and
there.
everyone, just so you know, Len Rod can't speak today in the chat, so he's not going to respond to you, but that's just because he's lurking. He just wanted us to know that he's here. So if he doesn't answer you, he's not being rude. He just he wanted to wave hello to everyone.
Okay, and then the next line is, then the injured Chin becomes delirious and attacks Straker and Foster, but is electrocuted as he falls on some equipment. So he had been injured, and he was probably lack of oxygen. He lost it, unfortunately. Hatch 3 finally empties, and Foster is next to use it, but once he's left the ships, the pumps fail altogether, leaving Straker with no escape route. As the air starts to run out, Straker begins to hallucinate, but he comes to his senses when he hears tapping sounds coming from the crash dive's tube airlock and finds Nina collapsed inside. As the pair prepare to face death together, explosions rock the sub, and Straker imagines that the hull is finally buckling under the pressure as he passes out. Later in the Shadow Medical Center, when Straker and Nina are recovering from the ordeal, Freeman explains how he detonated explosives to lift the sub off the ledge, thus enabling the divers to enter Skydiver through the missile tubes and rescue them. So that was, terrifying episode in many ways. So the notes they have on this episode, when we get to those. A different opening scene featuring Straker and Nina facing death alone in Skydiver was filmed for the episode but deleted from the final edit. It was originally intended that the rest of the episode would be told in flashback, explaining how they arrived in this predicament. In this opening scene, the pair discuss that they have known each other for 12 years, dating the episode to 1984.
Okay,
as
press
confetti
pause.
check. Okay, yep.
Okay,
Sure.
That's incredible. So what do you think
Pretty
about
cool.
that? Like, let's not move on from that. Let's talk about this for a second. I think that would have ruined this episode. What do you think, Clobby?
Yeah, I never really liked the kind of flashback stuff like that. This episode's so perfect without it.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever led them to through the creative process to get where they got. I'm glad they did. That's all I know.
Yeah, because that would have ruined all the tension, I think, because the tension, like, that's the thing with this
Would be
show is
gone,
you never
yeah.
know who's going to get killed, you know?
Yep.
So,
Right.
yeah, anyway, very interesting. Sorry for interrupting. Please
No, it was
unpause,
good
Mark.
point. Yeah, unpause. Okay. Only Straker's log recording from the end of the scene was retained in the completed episode, but this was relocated to the end of the story where it makes more sense. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The script details that skydiver navigator Lieutenant Lewis is a 44-year-old Vietnam War veteran who is due to retire soon. Paul Maxwell, who played the character, was actually 48 when the episode was filmed. For his final appearance in the series, George Sewell's hair is brushed from the right instead of the left in the previous 16 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Flashback footage from A Question of Priorities and Confetti Check OK appear as Straker hallucinates. During the first broadcast of this episode, many viewers would have been confused by these sequences, as Confetti Check A-OK had not been shown before Sub Smash was transmitted.
Mm-hmm.
Viewers in the Angelica and ANGILIA region had not seen A Question of Priorities either. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sub Smash was not only the last episode of UFO to be filmed at MGM British Studios, but the last production of any kind to be shot there.
Mm-hmm.
In addition, Sub Smash was Alan Fennell's last script for Jerry Anderson and brought to an end an association that had started 8 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He had previously contributed the script for ESP, but before that, Fennell had written 50 other television scripts for the Anderson Productions and is managing director of Century 21 Publishing.
Very talented human being.
Yeah.
Hit pause. Can I just say to the chat right now what a very, very talented writer this man is, and what a shame that this draws their relationship to a close. So thank you for your beautiful work. I loved your stories. Your stories were amazing. I loved them. Unpause.
Thank you. Yep. Unpause. Yep. Let's see. He also contributed dozens of scripts for comic strips and TV Century 21 magazine.
What?
Scripts. Yeah, and the company's range of hardback annuals.
Yeah.
He died in 2001, age 65. So Canadian actor, I'll just skim this, it's too much to read, but Canadian actor Paul Maxwell, Lieutenant Lewis, appeared in Pink Panther Strikes Again, Bridge Too Far, Aliens, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and he died in 1991, age 70.
No.
Lieutenant Chin was in Goldfinger, You Only Live Twice, Rollerball, Pink Panther Strikes Again.
Oh, I love Rollerball.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Yeah.
A View to a Kill, Fifth Element. Yep. He was in Danger Man, Avengers, Moonbase 3. Wow.
Yeah, I love this show so much. This show is so beautiful. You know what's weird too is like the more you read from the Holy Book,
the Holy Book, yeah.
Like I don't get bored. Like you could read the whole thing,
good.
and I'd be like,
I'm
yeah,
glad you're not bored. Yep.
Yeah, like
the oops is good here. Yeah. So when Straker looks
do the oops.
When Straker looks in the mirror in the captain's cabin, the well-lit room behind him is completely blacked out. Mm-hmm. Curiously, Shadair Albatross Seaplane 25 had a big number 15 painted on its rear.
Mm-hmm.
So it was filmed in Neptune House, Martin Cottage. And let's see, major equipment. The engineer's got to read that. Atlantica 4 freighter, Shadair Albatross 25 seaplane, Shadow Car A, Shadow Jeep, the 2 Shadow Jeeps, Skydiver 1, Sky 1, and USO unidentified submarine object. And it first premiered in the UK on Wednesday, November 11th, 1970. So that's Sub Smash, and I think this was a fine episode.
I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. You have to go back. Rewind.
Sure.
Can I have that date again, please?
That was Wednesday, November 11th, 1970,
so
at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Time. Yep.
And if you're in the chat and you're wondering why I just interrupted Mark for that, it's because everything that is on the user-generated sites has been in conflict with the book. So there have been, I think, but I would need to check, at least 3 times when the date has been different in the Holy Book as opposed to what's put on the user-generated site. So that's why I'm asking Mark to repeat himself. So November 11th, 1970 is correct.
Veterans Day in the States, yep. But yeah, and of course, ironically or not, I mean, it was almost good that we didn't cover it last week because they had that Titanic submarine exploring
Isn't that
disaster.
terrible?
That was terrible timing.
And
Yeah.
you know, that isn't the first time that's happened to Clobby and I. For some reason, like there have been a couple of times where Clobby's had to go on air and say, "Look, we didn't work it out this way."
Yeah, and I did the
Yeah.
watch party last week, and someone was like, "Oh, I was cringing when of course it's
Yeah.
on
Right.
not not planned that way like you said, but yeah, so very tragic end. And what was interesting here, Straker, you think is a fearless guy, but he was generally terrified. He's got claustrophobia.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, he goes to the moon though, right? And the spacecraft can't be that big either. But maybe there's something about being underwater. But he did a great job, the actor Ed Bishop, of conveying how terrified he was in the scene, and what Nina goes through and the other characters. It was great acting, and the sets and the production are just utterly fantastic for a TV show. It was very, very believable, very realistic.
Beautiful. How about that opening scene? In my notes, I have like with an exclamation point, which I don't use very often unless I'm doing advertising copy. Impressive and engrossing opening scene when the boat blows up. Just unbelievable and so good. And I love the practical effects.
Oh, it was amazing. It was just unbelievable how good this looked. Ravenscroft is heading out.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, Ravenscroft,
All right, Ravenscroft
says, "I need to sleep, everybody. Thanks for having such a welcoming site, and thanks for being you. We'll see you again soon." Ravenscroft, you are turning out to be such a great friend to this channel. So thank you so much for being here. We're so happy that you had a good time. Welcome, friend. Go and get some rest, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. You know, we have a Saturday night Star Trek, and Mark has a great show on Sunday on his channel. So I want to extend a warm welcome to you to join us whenever and wherever we are. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ravenscroft. Appreciate you being here and having you here. And thank you. Hope we see you again soon.
And of course, the other thing is, it's kind of a spoiler, but not spoiler, but it's Alec Friedman's last appearance on UFO, unfortunately.
What?
Well, I read that in the book, but that's his last.
Oh, no more Alec.
Last episode. Yeah, no more Alec. Yeah,
I really like Alec.
Yeah, I love him. I absolutely love him.
Oh, bummer.
Yep.
And it's such a shame what they did to him.
Well, now you guys understand why I'm kind of like Paul Foster, like, get out of here, man.
It's not his fault that they did that to
well, it kind of is
Toole.
Because they shoved him off for somebody who was sexy. They said he wasn't sexy enough.
Yeah, but he didn't do the hiring and firing and casting. There was those idiots who didn't. It's the network that said they didn't want him there anymore.
I know. It's just so sad.
Michael Billington might be a sweetheart of a guy who liked George Sewell and probably said, "That sucks. I think he was a good guy. Why did they get rid of him?" You never know.
No, he's a bad character, Clobby. You and I don't agree on Paul Foster. I don't like Paul Foster.
I'm not saying bad person. He may be a bad character, but I mean the actor may be a nice guy.
A sweetheart. Yeah. The actor's a sweetheart.
And he got killed by James Bond in The Spy Who Loved Me.
Oh, Phantom. Yeah, no, Straker's been on Moonbase. Yeah, he's been there, but
he has Moonbase.
He's been to Moonbase, but I think maybe it's just being the sub is, I guess they portray it as being a little bit more enclosed and you're under the water. But I think he would just be just as scared being on an airplane. But I don't have claustrophobia, thank God. So I don't know. But it worked for the episode.
Claustrophobia, it's a little bit different. I'm no I know, but I'm saying, I think it's something that's. I mean, going on the sub, that was him. He knew he was going against one of his fears.
Yeah. Or subophobia. I don't know. Is that a thing? But that's got to be terrifying to be, trapped like that. And what Nina goes through, that was horrific. She's goes to the torpedo. I guess it was a torpedo tube or some tube that was supposed to blow. And she's trapped in there for hours and she could barely fit. And she's saying, help me. And then she's able to crawl. I guess it's one of those tubes where it's so tight that you can only go forward or you can't turn around and go back. So she had to crawl her way much more difficult to go back, and so it's horrific. And the actress did a great job portraying how terrible that would be, and I can only imagine being stuck.
I love Nina.
Stuck down there.
Yeah.
So.
Dolores Mendez. She's
wonderful.
She's incredible, and she's also one of the prettiest women who's ever been on television.
Oh, gorgeous! Yeah, this is a great episode. I mean, it really has tense. It's tense. It's scary. Episodes of this type of any show always kind of freak me out. I don't think I have claustrophobia or anything, but maybe it's just still scary being trapped down there like that. Like the Poseidon adventure, a mini Poseidon adventure type deal or whatever. But it's really well done. Of course, it's not one of your standard episodes that dealt with a lot of strategy for the war and stuff. But it was truly interesting. Big on what it does reflect a different expression of the pathology of claustrophobia. There are people who have no problem flying in planes who could not go into even the little Disney sub.
I think it's submechanophobia is what the internet says it is. Submechanophonia. Phobia.
Thank you, Fiona, for that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's great tension in this episode, and they all act like really well trained crew members too, which I always appreciate. Not like some of the stuff that we get on SNW or some of these other modern shows today, where everyone's yelling at the captain or shouting out their feelings or trying to debate things forever. So I think they really did a nice job of keeping their wits about them and showed how professional they were and matter of fact, which you should have in a military organization. Yeah,
this is so
no crowing on the bridge.
Good old British stiff upper lip, the way it should be. So much.
No one here is afraid of mac and cheese.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I gotta clip that. Although there's probably a ban from showing that on this channel, but
no, we can't.
Mac and cheese is out of my comfort zone. Yeah, that's from this. If anyone doesn't know, that's the Discovery. Yeah, where Tilly is talking about how she's overcoming trying to new things just so she can become a starship commander someday. And one of the things she does is have mac and cheese because that's out of her comfort zone. Yeah, so it was it is tough to try something. You know what they should have given her? They should have
blow dart level meds.
No, they should have given her this, and then she could test her mettle.
Why is that here? Get that out of there.
So gross. HB called it SNOT earlier, which I can't say because it's a very vulgar word. But it's just that's such a powerful
never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
JT Kirk read my mind.
That's gross.
Great minds think alike. See what he said? Pizza for Tilly. I was just doing what he asked me to do. Yeah.
It's gross.
But yeah, this is a great episode. She's of course just magnificent. Oh my god. And they see again another episode where we see some vulnerabilities to Straker, but guys, she's just it's so refreshing seeing shows like this that were written, by mature science fiction writers. It's mature science fiction. These the characters are adults. They don't talk like children now, like they do on even any modern drivel, like Strangled Dude Worms or something like that, where they talk like babies. It's just so, or modern Marvel garbage like Suckered Invasion, whatever it is, which I also saw. Ugh. Suckered Invasion sucks. Strangled Dude Worms is filthy trash, and Indiana Jones is never mind. Just anyway, to see writing like this. On just a simple, quiet, not overly bombastic story, just good, good, in this case, good drama. It's not really one of their more science fictionist episodes, but it's good drama and intrigue, and it's just great stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was impressed with the way the characters all. You feel like you're on that sub, the way that the characters are written so well, and you feel that tension. Of course, it maybe was a little bit heightened by what happened, last, the week ago with the Titanic exploration disaster, and you just, picture yourself or think about how horrible that would be, knowing that, hey, there's no way out, and you're relying on someone else to rescue, and you just got to sit there and wait. There's really, at that point, Straker and Nina, there's nothing else they can do, and they just got to meet the inevitable. And obviously and thankfully they do survive, because the series would have ended at episode 17, I guess, or you would have had someone else taking over UFO. But that's the thing about the show too. Watching it the first time, you might not even that would be something you wouldn't necessarily not expect, knowing the show, how people get killed off. So that's what's brilliant about it, when you have that tension and you're not sure, you're watching it, and maybe Straker will die here, although it's pretty uncommon for the star to die in a show. But you never know. So
you never know.
Great
you never
stuff.
know.
Yeah, there's Nina stuck on the tube there. Yeah, that was.
Fiona does have a good point, though. She said, "I don't understand how Nina could be on the sub. They only invented diversity and female empowerment a few years ago. What's wrong with my television?" Yep, accidental female empowerment in 1970. What are you going to say?
Well, it's not really they, though. It was Jennifer Lawrence, Fiona.
True. Good part. So, anyone want to rate this episode, unless you have anything else to say about it?
I have some notes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Go for the notes,
yeah.
Of course. What are we waiting for? Yeah. Notes time.
Yeah, I just said that it has an impressive and engrossing opening scene. I just love a UFO investigation via skydiver. I think it's great. I love that this episode shows us that Ed Straker has a horrendous claustrophobia, but he tries to overcome it. I think it's also important too that this episode stands out for me as episode 8, because of course it didn't take me 17 episodes the first time I watched this to know how bad the aliens were. So everyone is learning this by prod code 17. I learned it by episode 8 ITV. And that's important because we learned that the aliens have been taking people out of their houses, harvesting them for body parts. And it's starting to become noticeable. It's quite frightening. And they're running out of opportunities to go and organ and body harvest. And so they're thinking about going out on the ocean, and it's almost as if they're fishing. So there's a shoal of people on a boat. Let's say it's a cruise ship. They'll take everyone off the cruise ship and use their bodies and stuff. So here, for me, like I said, in the ITV watch mode, I knew about how insane these aliens were from pretty much the beginning, stealing bodies, organs, and how they were shifting their plan to claim more and more human bodies. I love the marvelous and natural diversity of UFO, especially on Skydiver. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. Nothing is forced. There's no didacticism here. There's no hegemony here. Nothing feels like fake love or fake acknowledgement. This is just totally normal. It feels like walking down a street in Canada. I love it. Stricker explains why Nina Barry is on board. I love that Nina is not only recognized as the founding operative by episode 8, and that's very important, especially with what happens with Gay later, but also the fact that Nina Barry is considered a technical expert on this mission. So she is used to decipher discrete sonar indications, evaluate distance, and revealing noises on skydivers. So Nina Barry breaking some pretty incredible barriers. You have to remember a lot of this, all of these ideas were established in 1968. So it's just incredibly impressive. And yeah, I love that founding operative moniker. I don't mind that Captain Lou Waterman is here, but I still miss Pete Carlin. So I do prefer my Cap as Pete Carlin, but I do like Lou Waterman. I find him to be quite gallant. and handsome. So there is so much honor, dignity, gallantry, professionalism, and messages about self-sacrifice in this episode. So many, in fact, that you can't even name them all. Dolores Lolo Mantez, I love Lola, Mantez is remarkable here. The whole cast is far beyond television performance. This feels real. It is a terrifying gut punch. The lack of oxygen, I find the scene where the lack of oxygen makes Straker begin to hallucinate. It becomes almost full-blown horror. I feel so terrible for him as he tries to figure out whether Nina is actually Nina or if he's hallucinating his own death and hearing voices. It's quite sad. And I would just like to say that I don't know how many times I've watched UFO now, straight through. It's been a few times now. I've lost track, but I would like to say that I cry every time Straker finds Barry. I cry every time. And I'm not like a weepy sort of weepy girl, but it's just the whole circumstance, and it's just the whole performance, and it's just being treated like an adult, and it's just so well wrought. I just love it. I only wish, and then I put in my notes, I only wish Straker would be in love with Barry because he has shit taste in women.
Do you think they kind of inferred that? Sorry to interrupt your notes, but I'm going to put you on pause for a second. But
yes, do it.
Do you think that I thought there was kind of a spark there at the very end, and then they just decided to let it go the next day. But it seemed like there was something a little bit more than a working relationship at the very end of that scene. Now, I don't know if they could have even shown that back when this was filmed, if that would have been acceptable. But it seemed like there was something there. Did you guys get that?
Well, it's important to remember. It's important to remember that there are multiple interracial relationships, right? Because we have Bradley, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
but
right, yeah.
I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think that it's important to the story because I think it proves that Straker and Barry never cheated. That was just a figment of his wife's imagination. Now, of course, we already know that because we see the meeting at the apartment with all of the founding operatives. So we know that, right. But it's almost like it's tying up any type of question as to the integrity of these two people. But I do love that Straker basically admits to her that he has feelings for her back, and she says she has feelings for him. And it's very obvious that this is the first time they've ever said anything like that to one another. So, but Gay and Bradley were before Barry and Straker. But yeah, it's just, that's what I mean about this effortless.
Did they show a kiss between
diversity.
The two?
Pardon?
Did they show a kiss between Gay and Barry? Did they ever show any outward signs of affection other than saying they were a couple? I'm just trying to remember now.
You know, I'm gonna be
I'm
gonna be totally honest with you here. I don't know, and the reason why I don't know is because I find the relationship so sincere and believable that I wasn't waiting for that. When I think about Bradley and I think about Gay being together, I just think that they're a marvelous couple, especially when they're sitting there eating dinner together. You 100% believe they're together. Yeah. I didn't need that, so, but I don't know. It's something I'll watch for the next time.
You thought they did Clobbering Times, or not that
I think they did.
Okay.
Once, but in that episode when they were both, there was a computer affair or whatever.
Computer affair, right? Yeah.
Maybe I'm not 100% sure though.
Okay, yeah.
Could be wrong.
No, but just back then, you know, Star Trek was one of the very first. There were a few other interracial kisses, but that was one of, you know, famous for that, and of course some TV stations wouldn't air that in the States.
Yeah.
But it was just something to interesting, but there definitely was a spark there, and the actors did a great job of portraying that, and you can only imagine too, if you think your life is going to end, that you know, this is it. Well, I better you know, what's the harm in letting people know
The way that he
how
held
you
her,
really feel. Yeah, yeah.
the way that
And
he held her, like just the way that he held her, it's just like he's so manly, he's so Kirk. I just love the way that, you know, that like he was starting to fall apart when he was on it, when he was on his own, but the minute that he had to stand up and be a man for someone else, it's so emotionally moving. It's very moving. JT Kirk says, Raquel, I'm behind in my UFO viewing. Sorry that I always keep going to the chat all the time, you guys. I know it's annoying, and
it's good,
it's so
though.
interrupting.
Gotta get
Like
the
I
chat,
interrupt
yeah.
so much to go to the chat. I'm sorry. Raquel, I'm behind in my UFO viewing. What is bad about the women he selects to be around? JT Kirk, Ed Straker has a penchant for bad women. He likes bad women who are dangerous, toxic, horrible women. So they're usually like, well, I wouldn't even say he goes for looks. Because Nina Barry would be prettier than the two women I saw him sleep with, but or the two women who he was like romantically involved with. But both of the women were absolute trash. They were like fetid garbage, like maggoted filled garbage, just awful people. The woman who he was married to was absolute poison, just a horrible human being. And then, of course, there was that woman who was a thief and had absolutely no
The
morals
pretend
whatsoever.
reporter.
Yeah, she's terrible.
Yeah, she would love it.
But they're all pretty good looking.
Damn good looking.
No, not compared to Nina Barry. Are you kidding?
No.
And
Well,
I always wanted him to
I
be a
love her.
little hot to trot for Gay. I mean, Gay Ellis is freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Nina Barry, freaking gorgeous, man. Holy
I
cow.
stopped shipping my characters. Just kidding. But
Yeah, the
yeah,
fake
no.
reporter, Larry, yeah.
Yeah, the fake reporter, yeah. But this was interesting too. And the slideshow was showing how well, before, a few seconds ago, was Stricker said no signs of claustrophobia. You know, heart rate 108. He was getting control once he, like you said, once he knew he had to take care of to, you know, help protect Nina. Once he knew that he wasn't alone, he was hallucinating, seeing his son's death, getting hit by a car, and then you saw a screaming wife.
Did you feel like it was just because he wasn't alone? I felt like it was like being alone or with people doesn't matter to Straker. What mattered is that Straker felt that he needed to save her. And that's what made him set aside his own mental illness.
A purpose, yeah.
Yeah, because of his sense of honor and duty to sorry, Eric K. Duty! It's a juvenile joke between Eric and I. But I totally felt like it's like he could step outside of himself and anything that was wrong with him if he knew he had to be a man for someone else who needed him. It just makes him so courageous in my eyes. He's such a manly, amazing, cool hero. It's like, I don't know. It's like seeing the intimate thoughts of Kirk. Like he's such a great leader. And I love Ed Straker. I just love him. I would do anything for him if he were my boss, if he were my colonel. I would do anything for him. I think he's just fab.
Well, here are the lines here. He says, well, Nina, we were pretty close down there. I don't know if you can read the slideshow. I have to keep really small so we won't get nuked.
That's okay.
And then she says yes. And then you know, she's going to say, well, if there's anything I said, which, well, you know, she's inferring or didn't say,
yeah,
you know, the inferring, which is a beautiful, you know, I'm laughing, but it was a beautiful moment. Yeah,
it was.
That's what life's all about, I guess. The things that we never say. So, you know, really well written, and you know, they've got to get back to business here. Yeah, well,
but it's also the fact
kicking me out of here. I'll go get pack my toothbrush, right? So they just boom. You have just a couple of lines there.
But the way that it's worded, doesn't it also like I think Clobby was gonna get to this too, because Clobby likes Nina as much as I do. But it just sort of seems like everything that is good and beautiful in Straker's life, he's not allowed to have. and
Yeah.
he has to suffer everything
Tragic
alone.
life.
Yeah,
Very like Kirk. He's all alone.
yeah,
Yeah,
Or,
loses his
weight of
son,
the
loses
world.
his wife.
Yeah,
right.
weight of the world on
Clubby.
his shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Absolutely.
yeah.
It's a shame. It's a sad existence for old Ed Stricker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a beautiful hero, though. If you were ever in any danger, he would be the man who would give his life for yours, no matter who you were. He wouldn't care if you were friend or foe. He would give his life to save yours. He's that kind of a man. God, I love men like that. Anyways, this was just beautiful science fiction. This was beautiful science adventure. So this was science adventure mixed with science fiction. I just, oh my God, I can't even put into words how much I love this show. So for me, it's an A plus.
Excellent.
I put 3 pluses after my A, everyone.
Thomas
3 plus.
Bartholdi, thank you for being here. It was great meeting you. Hope you will come back and see us. Have a great night, Thomas.
Thanks for joining us,
Take care.
Thomas.
Thank you for being here. Yep.
What about you, number one? Chief engineer. What is your rating?
Well, I give it an A plus, and also for the just the sets too, and of course the way I'm guessing they tilted the set, or did they build that subset knowing that they would have to tilt it, so they planned that out from the start. I'm guessing they had, but imagine the cost of that, or
geek.
The
God, I love your geek brain, and Clobby's geek brain too. See, this is the difference between geeks and nerds. Nerds are thinking about how it was written, and geeks are like, let's talk about how it was filmed. What did they anticipate this? Did they do it with this or this?
Yeah,
right.
I love it.
Yeah, they didn't talk
shot.
about that in the book.
Yeah, I love how it's shot, and I love I also give it an A plus. It's greatness.
Yeah.
Great characters, and film very well. You know, the special effects. You got to this is a TV show. You know, with not a huge budget. You know, very limited budget, but Jerry Anderson with that brilliant special effects team, you know, gets the job done. So if you haven't seen this, or go watch these. I guess, are any of these on? Where can you watch this? You have to get.
Roku has it. No, I don't think it's on
is that BritBox?
In Canada, I just watch it on Fire TV. It populates. I think it populates through.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon. That's right. It was in my notes. I had it on Amazon.
Okay, and
Amazon
Roku
has it here, and Roku has it here. I'll put the links.
Doesn't they have commercials on Amazon?
No, mine's free.
Some do. No, but some. For example, I've watched some shows on Amazon that goes through Freevee, and they have commercials.
Yeah.
Where I watch it, I don't have to watch commercials, but Roku, it has a commercial or two. But still, there are a couple ways you can find it. It's out there.
It's worth it watching with commercials. Yeah.
Sure can't get the damn DVD set anymore. So
I'd love to get the Blu-ray of that. Oh, the Blu-ray.
That'd be so
I would pay. Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, gorgeous.
Lisa, what's up? Good
she was gardening all day. I bet you she's exhausted. It's going to be fun watching you walk tomorrow. Good luck with that. Lisa and I have a lot of the same hobbies, so it's like you work all day in the yard, then you're like, oh, it's going to be great trying to sit down for the next 2 days. Anyway, hi Lisa, we missed you, honey. I would pay an obscene amount of money to have these on Blu-rays, and I would cherish them. I would put them with my books.
Yeah, someday I gotta get those.
I should tell you, everyone too. Like, Clobby went to a convention in the U.S. and Lisa, and he got me a shadow badge, and he got me the proper shadow badge. It's legit. It's not the one that that you can get for like $30 that sucks. He got me like the actual one. I don't know how much it set him back. I do know that he probably paid an arm and a leg to send it to me.
It's nothing. Not bad at all.
Super expensive here. You have to pay import fees here. Plus, anyone who ships it to you not only wants you to pay for the import fees, but they usually how much they want for the patch, it's usually equal to or double the amount that they want for the shipping. So puts it at around between $60 and $80 Canadian to bring that badge here. And patch, I mean. And Clobby sent it to me. So I want everyone to know that I am not doing the paper bag pants because I find them unsexy. I'm going to be doing the Pete Carlin instead. And I have the pants. I'm going to coffee dye the fishnet top that I have. I will be wearing the woman's version of the fishnet top.
Nice.
And then I'm ready to cosplay this. I just need to find boots.
Excellent. That's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, I should have got you a couple of those patches.
I'm going to be wearing it at my next book signing.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So I'm going to wear that. That's going to be my cosplay for the Ed Expo.
That's awesome.
Clobby,
Yep.
Clobby, because of you, I'm cosplaying UFO skydiver. Oh my God. I'm going to take 10 billion pictures. The video that I'm going to do is probably going to be like an hour long. My cosplay video on my YouTube.
Nice.
It's going to be so long. You know how many pictures I'm going to take?
A bazillion.
Wait to see it.
Oh, I hope it'll be
but that's
cherry
a
too,
jelly.
JT Kirk. Please be cherry. I hope it works. I hope it works out.
Yes, indeed. All right, Chris.
Oh,
Good
night,
thanks for being here,
sweetheart.
buddy. Thanks.
Bon nuit.
Good night, sweetheart. Love you very much. Mwah.
Thanks for all you do, brother.
Thank you, Chris Persia. Thank you again for those great promotion of the channel and the show on Twitter. Very cool. Yep. And may you never dream of clam pizza.
Never. Never.
Oh,
Man.
sea tongues are sick.
Well, it's a shame about losing good old Alec. Our last Alec, so we bid him farewell and adieu. Because he is we'll miss him. Farewell and adieu for Spanish ladies. I remember the first time he was on one of my favorite episodes of Doctor Who, the 25th anniversary episode of the Remembrance of the Daleks. And that was, maybe it was like 16, 17 years later. So he was a lot older, of course. But I didn't put it together until like the third or fourth episode I watched of this. Like, I know this guy. What have I seen this guy on? But he's really a great character. And, Ed, I don't know. Ed must have sent him on some mission, I guess. We'll look at it that way, that he's out there working. I guess. But it's a shame.
Yeah, dude, I can't remember if you ever find out what he's just gone, I guess, basically, right? Did they mention?
I don't know.
Won't we see him again though in episodes because we're kind of watching in a weird order?
Well, I don't know because if in prod order, then it's prod order we're watching in, right?
He's gone, yeah.
So production order would mean Dunsicles.
Yeah, he's gone, right?
Yeah. Super sad. Super sad.
Oh, Ezra, UFO is on DVD and it's also on Blu-ray, but it's Region 2. So
Region 2, which Ezra's from over there, so it wouldn't be a problem for him. You get a Region 2 player. I mean, that's what he has. Here's
the store here, the Fanderson store. Let's see where. Let me put that in here. The shop. So here's the UFO shop. So you can find out all the info, and they do list the Blu-ray and DVD there. I don't know if it's
while you're doing that. I'm
going
to take some medicine. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, boss.
It's gone.
So yeah, there's a ton of good stuff over there that you can purchase. I don't know what the shipping is to the States, but if you're in the UK, obviously it'd be a lot cheaper. But they have all the annuals and let's see, the Blu-ray. They have the soundtrack. I'm looking at it right now. Everything's in British pounds. Let's see if they've got the DVD. But let's see.
I wish I could get it in for my region, Mark.
Yeah, you just have to you've got to use a computer to convert it.
Well, Chris said that how he gets around it is he just bought a player. He said he just got sick of the hassle and just bought a player.
Yeah, you can just buy a Region
Chris
2
Persia.
player. Yeah.
Love that guy.
You can go that way, especially because the Blu-ray, it's massive when you copy that to your hard drive. It's 18 gigabytes or whatever.
Ridiculous.
for a Blu-ray, so it's ridiculous. Oh, they have shadow window stickers. That's pretty darn cool.
Get the what?
Oh, here, let me show that.
Well,
Let me
put
show that.
it up on the screen.
Let me put it up. Yeah, let me
What are you
stop the camera
doing?
here.
What
What
kind
am
of
I doing?
enabling is this? I expect
Yeah.
very high quality enabling from you, Mark.
Yeah, let me show this. Yeah, here, let me put this over to my other.
No, Lisa,
Other
you know those
screen here.
paper bag pants? They're kind of that cut. You know what I mean? I don't like the paper bag pant cut. I don't like them. They give people long bum. Like women don't look good in long bum. Just wear some nice pants. Forget the long bum pants, and they're kind of baggy. So you know the blonde girl who's like an extra in like 2 episodes and she's on Skydiver? She has those weird pants where the belt kind of draws it up like a sack. Ugh.
Dave says Mark enabling again. Yeah, here's region. Yeah, the Windows sticker. Oh, so the prices. Yeah, UK, Europe, USA, rest of world. Yep. So look how cool would that be to have a shadow
How big is that?
Windows sticker.
That looks
Do they
so
tell
good
you
on my
how big?
car.
Let's see. Do they tell you how big that is? Oh, I gotta go back maybe here. It's 100 by 130 millimeters.
Oh, millimeters.
gotta
10
translate-
centimeters by 13 centimeters?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a little bit less than a foot.
I like
Right?
how they tried to
Pretty
like
big,
make
though.
people think that it's bigger by using millimeters instead of centimeters. It's clearly 10
Yeah.
centimeters by 13 centimeters. So
Yeah, but millimeters are bigger than centimeters, right? Just kidding.
stop it.
Stop it. It's
Just a
metric
second.
here.
Hey
so much
Siri,
better.
how many inches are in 10 centimeters?
10 centimeters is
Whoa.
10.94 inches.
Wow, 3.94 inches. And wow, why is
4
Siri
inches.
so loud? Okay.
Wow, she is
thanks.
loud. Yeah.
Anyway,
So here's the UFO section of. Oh, there's the patch. Yeah,
God,
shadow patch. Yep. Oh, look at the poster. That's a fab poster. Yep. Another. Oh, a badge. That's a
Wow, look
pin.
at all that stuff.
That's cool. Yeah.
Huh.
So yep.
You have to be careful with the patches, though. You really do, because there are a whole bunch of people that are selling the patches, and they're kind of yellow. Like they're not. I don't
They're
like
old.
them. They're not white. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, Clubby. They're old, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know how they still make a lot of that stuff, or people just have a lot of it left over for when when they were more in vogue. I guess I don't know. Well, at least you do
Fiona's
reviews.
like, when do we get to post our reviews? Please post your reviews now. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Post away there, Fiona. I did. Wow, I forgot all about it. My bad. Miss Moneypenny was on 2 episodes. Lois Maxwell was on 2 episodes. I didn't realize that. Wow, not cool.
Yep.
Yeah, go for it. Put your any. I'm sorry, everybody. We just forgot. It's not like Saturday Night Star Trek when we're organized for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So my bad. I should have thought of it. Please, though, anybody who has a review or just a rating or whatever of the episode Sub Smash, please deliver it. Now here we go. Fiona, of course, says A+. This show is the anti-filth, indeed. Competence, professionalism, and sheer grace under pressure.
Yes.
The performances are stellar, and the psychological suspense in this ep punches well above its weight class. Thank you so
drop the mic,
much.
baby. Drop the mic. What an amazing
said.
review. Well said.
Right, absolutely. Greatness on your part. Thank you, Fiona.
Mm-hmm.
Spectacular. I didn't know Miss Moneypenny was in an episode. Lois Maxwell.
She's also in Stingray.
Was Straker the late Miss Straker secretary is not Lois Maxwell.
Oh,
Okay.
temporary secretary. Temporary
Okay,
secretary.
so
Oh, she's
just
like temporary?
in case anyone
Yep.
wants to know,
Oh, okay.
the UFO the Complete series in Blu-ray is used. So you're
2
going to pay
episodes.
quite a bit of import and stuff on it. Is $239.66. It's 6 discs with a runtime of 21 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay, I didn't know she was on 2 episodes. Tip. Okay. So the MI5 loaned her out, did they? And,
Yep.
and,
Oh, this is This is an amazing. I never know about Lois Maxwell.
What?
In 1942, young Lois ran away from home and lied about her age to join the Canadian Woman Army Corps, performing comedy and dance numbers to entertain the troops. During a tour of England in 1943, she was discovered to be underage and dishonestly dismissed and went AWOL in London. While hiding from the authorities, she auditioned for RADA and was awarded the very first Lady Lois Mountbatten Scholarship, but was arrested by MPs and imprisoned at Aldershot. Lady Mountbatten intervened and persuaded the authorities to allow Lois Hooker to stay as her ward. In 1944, she met 17-year-old Roger Moore and appeared with him in a student production of Hamlet. The pair became lifelong friends. Wow, that's
Wow.
amazing. I never knew that about her. Wow. So,
Boss, sorry to interrupt. Hungry Boy put up a review.
Okay. Let's see here. Or my eyes were off of there. Hungry Boy says A++. Because I used to suffer bad claustrophobia and had nightmares about being in deep water, black and crushing. So Straker's plight spoke to me. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Nice. Yeah. Well said, sir. Well done, as always.
$239, not including import fees, and it's still Region 2.
ouch.
Can we play the Dadman clip?
Interesting. Fiona, what? Oh, we'll sing. Yes, we can. Yep. Oh, there we go.
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
So Fiona says something interesting. She asks if we can do Moonbase 3 next, which is not a show I'm that familiar with, but I'm looking it up now. And this was 1973. It created by Barry Letts and Terrence Dicks, big times name from Doctor Who. Theme music, Dudley Simpson, also Doctor Who Blake 7 connection there. So it must have been a BBC show. How many episodes was that? Let's see. I've never seen the show.
$1,917.39. That's,
Wow.
I want to swear.
I've never seen this show. 6 episodes. It was a BBC show, I take it.
What's it called? Moonbase. What was the name again? Moonbase what?
Moonbase 3.
Moonbase
BBC
3.
1. BBC 1. BBC 2. BBC 3. So Terrence Dicks, of course, Doctor Who great writer, and Barry Letts, both Doctor Who producers and writers. Both worked on stuff like the Avengers and Crossroads and things like that, and Zed Kaz. Wow.
Okay.
I would have
Never
to
seen
take
it.
a-
That sounds
I've never
interesting, though.
seen that, Fiona. What can you tell us about it?
I wonder if it's on BBC America to
I
view.
wonder. It's
shall check
1973,
now.
only 6 episodes.
Probably not on there.
Maybe
but
it's
I'm going
maybe
to
it's on
check right
YouTube
now.
or something.
I didn't
But
know
I
they
do
had
have it.
region free players.
Oh yeah, they do. Sure.
Yeah, so it's not even like region 1, 2, 3 player. It's region free. You can play whatever you want on it. That's crazy.
Moonbase 3 was set in the year 2003, the far-flung future. Some 30 years into the future, the time of the broadcast, and dramatized life in the enclosed environment of the titular moon base. 5 world powers have colonized the moon: America, Russia, Europe, China, and blah blah blah. So here we go. Oh, and Brazil. The European moon base has been in existence for 8 years. At the time the series starts, with oversight provided by the European Space Assembly and the European Aeronautics, and Space Administration. Moonbase 3 is a shoestring operation when compared with the Russian and American efforts. Much of the base director David Calder's job is to stave off budget cuts or a complete shutdown and face skeptical bureaucrats alongside technical problems such as stranded astronauts, explosive decompression, and failed experiments. The inhabitants of the moon base must also deal with psychological problems arising from the cramped, dangerous environment they live in departure and arrival. A mental breakdown suffered by a shuttle pilot has tragic consequences. So basically, only 6 episodes. There you go. That's the basic rundown of that. When did you see that?
Yeah.
Zachariah. What's up, Cinderella?
Hey,
When did you see
Zachariah.
that? Fiona, when did you? I don't think I've ever heard of that one before. But again, I mean, it's a. I don't know. You think I would have? So, anyway, go back. Number one. What were you doing?
Nothing, boss. I'm just calling out what we were looking at while you were taking your meds. Just like Clubby, I just don't understand why it costs so much money.
It's. You mean just like the shipping mainly? Yeah, it's just insane.
Well, it's just so unfair. Like Clubby, someone started basically started the bidding at $239.66 on Amazon, and it's used, and it's region 2.
It's on YouTube. We'll have to check. I'll check out. I'll look into it. Ezra, thank you. Man, I don't know. It's ridiculous. I have no idea why those DVDs and those Blu-rays are so stupidly high.
Well, I mean, it's a limited production. You know, as Spinal Tap guys like to say, their audiences become more selective. So, unfortunately, you know, we're all lovers of sci-fi and this genre, intelligent TV. But you know, a lot of people, if you ask people, "Oh, do you see?" You remember watching UFO? They'd be like, UFO. You know, they think you're talking about ET or something. So, it's not a big seller to begin with, unfortunately, and you know, it's you know, I'm looking on the Jerry Anderson store, and it's sold out right now. The Blu-ray.
It's ridiculous.
So they do a limited run. Unfortunately, it's
when are they doing another one?
Well, you can sign up to get notify me when available. So I'm gonna put my name in there and see. We'll let you know when it's back. So, but of course, these kind of things you can find sometimes on eBay. Might be you know, pay a premium for it, but there's a feature length documentary on the making of UFO on this rare archival material, including titles, TV spots, unused footage, archive interviews. So
I saw the documentary on the women.
Yeah, that sounded looked great too. After watching that.
Oh, that's so good. I love it. I watched it twice.
Yeah,
nice.
So it's just it's the kind of thing when you see it, you gotta grab it when you know if it's available, you know, don't wait to pull the trigger on. Unfortunately, yeah. So if it's something you really, I've had that happen to me before, where you see something like, oh, I don't have the money to spend on it now, and I'll wait, and then it's never available again, and you're kicking yourself. So. Yeah, there's plenty of Captain Marvel DVDs for sale at $5 Below for $2.50.
Right? Blunt Philly reviews. Hey, Blunt Philly, good to see you.
Hey, Blunt Philly, what's region B?
B?
Yeah.
I know what region B
region
means.
1 or 2. I don't know.
Oh, region B is Europe. Region B, they said.
I thought that was region 2.
I thought so too.
Same thing.
As well.
It's just calling it B, but fancy way of saying. It's the same region 1 as region 2, but you can get a region free player. You know,
I think I'm gonna have to do that because I need to own this. This needs to be with me.
What the UFO Blu-rays?
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
And I'm on the Jerry Anderson site. You know what else I wanted? I wanted that beautiful show poster. Mark, do you know where I can get the show poster? I'd like to put it up with the Star Trek stuff in the theater room.
Yeah, I don't. Let's see if Fiona tweeted me the box cover. I'm gonna go grab that in. Yeah, okay. And Steven says
it's gorgeous.
Not too bad for a drink coaster. Yeah, I'm checking Fleabay right now. Yep.
Look at that. Oh my god. I got a buddy of mine that has it. Of course, he has all that stuff. He gets everything. He got it when it came out, which was years ago now, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did this thing come out?
Sadly.
Yeah, they just didn't make much of it. Is that the Shout Factory one or the different one? Because even the Shout Factory one's expensive, but I think.
Yeah, I was on the Jerry Anderson site.
Yeah. Damn.
Let me check. Yeah, the poster isn't even available. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh no!
Bless you.
Dang it.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it's like even if you look up UFO series on Amazon, it has no idea what you're talking about. It's just like 9 million I want to believe posters.
Oh, I found
Headcast.
one. I found one.
So
Where?
Mark,
Of the poster or the DVD?
The
I
poster.
found- oh, the poster. Okay, no, sorry. I
Must
found the
have.
$63. Yep.
Canada is region 1, just like us, is what you're saying, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just being sure. Blake 7 has never been released on DVD here for region 1, only over there, and never on Blu-ray yet. I don't think over there. I got a region free player once, and it wasn't that great. I had to get another. Now they're cheaper. That was way back when they were stupid. So just so I could buy the DVD, the Blake 7 DVDs, of course.
Yep. It's a worthwhile cause, right?
But it didn't. The DVDs kept coming in different. I mean, the 4 seasons came in. Some of them were kind of messed up. So eventually, what they did that last set that was really nice, I had a buddy of mine just burn them off of, burn them and make burnt copies for me. They're at least I have them that way.
Yeah.
Decent region free players about $130, says Joseph Dredd. Wow, that much, huh? Yep. Blu-ray players, the Blu-rays are selling out. Got in there before the scalp hunters bought them up, says Matthew Pounder. Yeah. See, yeah, and you know what? From what I hear, you can't even just run down to the Target or the Walmart and buy a Blu-ray player anymore. I mean, they don't carry them in stock that much.
No.
Oh yeah, there are. Yeah. Wow.
Used to be you go grab one, they've gone down like $40-$50 maybe.
Maybe I'll just
Now you have
get
to
Mark.
order 'em.
Maybe I'll just get Mark to
Yeah,
bump up the
converted for-
res on one of these.
Well, you can. I'll see what I can find. But the problem is, or if I eventually get a copy, then I don't want to say anything on air. But
No,
yeah.
don't. I know what you're.
Like
I know
that,
what
yeah.
you're gonna say. It's okay. That's cool, man.
Like you say, Joe, that's right, Joseph Shred. They want you to use streaming services, the shitheads. You know what? I still like if it's something I really love, I want the damn physical copies. I mean,
And you get a better version of it too.
Yeah, at least got the original series on physical. At least got Trek on physical, and
Oh God.
Oh, and Fiona,
What?
I didn't see the. You said you tweeted me the album cover. I didn't.
see, she
Did not
tagged you.
appear in my. Or she tagged
That's
me,
it.
or
Tag.
it was
She
a
didn't-
tag. It
It
wasn't a DM.
It wasn't a DM. No, she didn't DM.
Okay, good.
That
Just wanted to double check.
soundtrack
Yep. I'll
image
share it
is
if I can.
nice. I'd like to Photoshop the original television soundtrack off and music by Barry Gray off and a Jerry Anderson production off. Just Photoshop it off and just blow the crap out of this and just, it's so beautiful.
3D Blu-ray player. I'd never use a 3D one person, but they ain't cheap. I mean,
I did buy my Blu-ray player is 3D back in the day. Of course, 3D format's dead, but I bought a few movies. Like I bought Guardians of the Galaxy on 3D, and I have a movie projector, and the projector. Set it up outside with a 3D glass. We had like movie night, and it was pretty darn cool. I got to say, it was. But I mean, it's a gimmick. I mean, the 3D actually was really, really gorgeous. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
On watching the movie, and it was fun. It was fun for a movie like that. But and you have actually they're active 3D glasses that work with a projector, so that they've battery powered, and they were much better than the movie theater 3D. And for a while, every TV had it. Was just another, they're trying to have a fad where hey, we'll get you into the get you to buy something else and get it in the movie theater, but really was a gimmick. And then the versions in the movie theater were just so it was so horrible, the fake 3D they did, and it darkened the films. It was just it was a disaster. So but yeah, let me save these pictures.
I've never
so we
seen
can show
Shadow
them.
in Red before until today. Fiona sent it to me. Weird. Shadows in black with a red outline. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, it
God,
looks
I
like a
love this
gorgeous
show.
set. Yeah, the
This show
Blu-ray
is the greatest show
collector
ever.
box. Wow, that's
Yeah, did you see it?
yeah. I'm gonna show it in a second here. Let me get these images up. Let's see.
Wow. Boy, Mexican Iron Man is not a happy camper. I don't blame you, Mike, because he went to see Indy 5. Was he pissed off? Good Lord. The J-Man shocked me, and then this doesn't shock me like the J-Man shocked me. I've never been shocked by the J-Man so much. But,
Yeah, usually he's kind of like me, a little bit kinder to things sometimes.
It's an
Not
easygoing
always.
lad, yeah.
Yeah. So
I've never seen him like this. Amazing. And not that I blame him, but I've never seen him like this. But I will talk to him soon. Saw an X-Men movie in 3D in the theater, and it was the worst film I've seen in years in terms of fidelity and quality. Which one would that be there, JT? I don't really like the X-Men movies that much personally, but
well, yeah, probably that's that fake 3D when they wouldn't shoot the films in 3D, and like I saw Clash of the Titans, the new version, which I didn't want to see anyway, but my family and friends wanted to see that. So, and the 3D just deadened the movie. It made it even worse. So it just
I can't stand 3D at the movies. Every time I've been, it's been miserable. Gives me a headache. Or I just don't like it.
Raquel, cover your eyes.
Wow. Don't look at that.
Look how cool that is.
I know she sent that to me. Oh, she tagged me in that. Isn't that incredible?
Gorgeous, yeah.
Evil.
Oh,
look at that.
God, it's just so
Put that
beautiful.
on the bucket list. Yeah.
You see the
and it's got Gay Ellis on the back.
Those are two different Blu-rays releases, I guess. And then you have
it's disc 1 through 4 on one, and then 5 through 7 on the other.
All right, fair enough. And then you have what's the other one? Just a DVD set, or is that music? Well, that's a Blu-ray. It's that's a special edition or something Blu-ray.
Yep.
I guess. Collector's edition. Thank you.
Oh my God, man!
How much is that?
$1,917. Yeah.
Oh my! It's basically $2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$2,000. What? And somebody needs their ass kicked for that. I'm sorry.
I guess if you have plenty of money, I mean,
no, but whoever made that happen, just needs to. Somebody walk up to them and start beating them. No, not shin kicks. I'm talking violence. I'm kidding, everybody. Not advocating violence, but I want to clobber him. Look, if I ever met the sumbitch that made that happen, I'm going to tell you right now, folks.
It's clobbering time.
That is just wrong and horrible, man.
I wonder how many copies of those they made. They
made. That's not the Shout Factory one, I guess, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just really, 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 really sad. It actually makes me sad.
The most expensive DVD I ever bought was I think I bought it was Criterion Collection Spinal Tap, and it went out of print, and I bought it on eBay, I think, for like $100 or $125. That was in the 90s, probably. Who knew that we were going to get Blu-rays, and that was like your only chance to own Spinal Tap on DVD. If I'd only known, but it is a very cool, Criterion Collection. They do great stuff. They've got all kinds of, all the footage. But I was like, do I want to pay that much? Like, $100 for the movie.
I like what HB said here.
Yep, this is a cruel and unusual punishment, but they deserve it. Whomever set that price deserves to watch Captain Marvel 20 times in a row, buddy. Yes.
Yes, HB. Yeah, it's incredibly sad. Very sad. Sad face. Sad panda.
Yeah. Well, it makes it all the more satisfying if you can actually find it. But it's a shame that they don't at least if they stream the. I've never seen it streaming with the Blu-ray unless someone else has let me know if they've seen it that way. But it's just, and the show is as great as it is anyway. So, but when you've got it like Tales of Tomorrow, you're just lucky when you find the episode, and it looks horrendous, because of the quality of the film, but or the recording. But you don't mind it because you're watching the story and you're enjoying the story. But something like this, when you know it's on Blu-ray and you can see it in high def, even though it's an old show, it was filmed on film, so they can scan it in at high quality, and it's
Wow.
you'd love seeing those special effects even more. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Fiona says that her TOS phaser is worth almost $3,000 now. It was your engagement phaser. Wow. I've never heard of it. Engagement.
That phaser's the stun. Was that the Wan company one? Was that the one?
Would
Is
have
that
to be the Wan company.
The TV, the one that can control the TV.
I guess. Set phasers to "Will You Marry Me?" I guess.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, there was an update on the tricorder. You guys remember the tricorder?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. There was just an update on that.
Dead man, when a dead man clam. What's up, buddy?
Dead man clam.
Her husband proposed to me with a phaser prop replica. He says it was set on "Marry Me."
That's awesome.
Nice. Yep. I don't know. That's amazing, Fiona. Very cool. Master replica. Love it.
Good guy.
Yeah, it's a good chap. So what are you talking about now? That the one that you were looking at way back when?
Yeah, the remember the tricorder that was here. I'll show this. They're getting closer and closer to getting into production. So let's if I share my screen here, and they had some updates on the on this. So let's see here. If we go to, let's see, where's the tricorder blog? Let's see if I go there. Pre-production commences. So this, so they're getting ready, and they put every captain's log that happened on this tricorder. I know Raquel's going to go crazy about that. So you'll be able to play. Oh, I got to hide.
Get out of here.
I got to hide the overlay here. That would help.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
So pre-production commences. Yep.
Oh my God.
So there's the board on the.
You geeks are just so terrible for me. You always show me all these beautiful physical things, all this merchandise, all this collectible stuff I can't afford. I thought books were expensive.
So close, but so far. Yep.
It is. It's very sad.
So, one of the chips they needed was on a 52 week lead time, and we felt that even attempting to estimate production would start more than a year out was futile. Here's some of the pre-production mounting plates. Yep, ready for assembly. So I guess they're going to do a pre-production run. So of course I'm going to have to save up all my clams to purchase.
I knew you were going to
one.
say clams.
Yeah,
your agonizer, please.
Yeah. So then you've got to make it. You've got to make it for manufacture too. You're not just making one. So they've
Your agonizer, please.
80,000 data discs needed for turned on a lathe and individually laser etched. The crossbars extruded and wire cut. So just amazing, yeah. So there's all the CNC machining on the side frames there that stick through it. Yep. So that's so they're gonna have. I mean, that was a teaser. They sent that in the email. I guess they haven't posted it yet. They have every single captain's log that appeared on TOS stored on this tricorder. You can play it at will.
Wow.
So how cool is that? Yes.
Captain's log, M-, all of them.
All of them. Every single one stored on the tricorder.
But if you're going to use an M-, like there really shouldn't be spaces. But anyway.
All of them right there?
Yeah.
Well, then you'll be able to select the season. You can't really see it, but in the email that I got.
Wow.
So you'd be able to select the season and play all the captain's logs
Yep.
on the tricorder. Yep.
Sad. So sad.
So there's the first reveal we showed that. So I guess they didn't have that latest update on here, but you can register here. So it's on I'll put the link in the chat here. So if you want to get this tricorder,
Oh, the
I'm enabling a little bit.
Just making stuff I can't afford. Could not be reached for further comment. I feel you. I feel you. I agree.
Yeah, so beautiful, beautiful stuff. Yep. And it's gonna be hopefully be out in the next year or so. But yeah, start saving your money now, I guess. Yep. So it's gonna be gorgeous. Yep. So here's the first shots of the so some people might not have seen this before. It's been a while since we showed an update on it, but that's how it's gonna look with the TV screen or view screen. And they're gonna have data discs that you can take in and out. It's gonna be absolutely fabulous. And I have the Diamond Select one, which is good, but this is just a whole another level of goodness with how this is gonna work. It's truly amazing. So they're gonna get the leather right. So yeah, see, there's the data disc, so you'll be able to put those in and out, and they'll play different things and do different things. So very, very cool. It's just
very, very depressing.
There's the back end of the tricorder. Yep. Sort of storage unit there. So there's some of the molds. Yep. So these are not cheap to make. Yep.
No, they're not. They're worth the price they're asking. It's just too rich for my blood.
Yep. I hear you there.
There it is with the screen on. Yep.
Oh, yep. Wow. I mean, that puts my tricorder to shame.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be the best one out, or one of the best ones ever. I mean, there have been master prop replicas did an amazing one, but I think this is going to be the one tricorder to rule them all. I'm thinking.
Go ahead, rub it in.
Well, I don't have it yet. I mean, I'm hoping I can get it. I don't know what's going to
I mean, I actually like it when you do that. Yeah. Just go ahead and rub it in.
Okay. I don't know if it's OLED, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is. They did. If you go read all the all the blog posts, you'll be able to read about it. And I guess the screen was tricky to get it to work in terms of the size, because it's an unusual size. So I'm not sure what if it's OLED, but just look how cool that is. It's just they're gonna have it so you can. And you're going to be able to record. Use it. It's going to be functional too, so you could use this as a recorder and do different things and have different experiments on it. Yeah, yeah.
That wouldn't bounce on your hip either.
Yeah, after nearly 3 years of work, yeah. First shot is a biggie. Yep. So 3 years. Yeah.
Quite heavy.
So they're gonna have the Edith Keeler newspaper on there.
Well, they need to.
Of course. Yeah, right. So that's just pretty amazing. Yeah, so it's then here's I guess they revealed it in Destination London. This is 2021. So here's the first revealed. Yep. So wow. That's really
cool.
HB said the speaker mesh is calling to me. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So here's you can follow them on social media. So yeah. So just a little bit of enabling, but we can all dream, right?
That's right. Dream a little dream of me.
Hopefully everyone watching can get that someday. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Could not be reached for further comment. We're getting closer, aren't we?
I think they're going to have some sensors in there. They are going to have temperature sensors, and if you read the blog,
God, don't tell me that.
They're going to put as much stuff as they can in there, in terms of sensors, and trying to get it to, be able to scan and do certain things. So it's pretty wild to read about it, and just check out that blog. They go into all the details of how they're producing this and the capabilities. So that's very, very interesting. Yeah, how they're gonna get it to work. And they actually scanned the original one of the original tricorders from the show that someone owned, and they did 3D scanning to try to get it exact as possible.
The thing is back then it wasn't even all that unusual of a design. because it was taken from the tape recorders that looked exactly like those tricorders. I mean, I grew up in a band, so those things were everywhere. You know what I mean? If you wanted to record your lyrics, or if you wanted to practice and then play it back, everyone had that tape recorder. It's the tricorder on its side where you put in a cassette tape. And yeah, anyways, it's just crazy to me that how it's turned into this. It's so amazing. What a prop, like the prop design on Star Trek, so amazing. I mean, amazing on UFO and amazing on Star Trek TOS, just so good.
Yep. No, it's gonna be a lot of pretty amazing to get this, and it was the original design by Hua Chang, if I say his name
Yeah.
correctly, and when they build these things, they're built for, wasn't built to reproduce over and over. It was, they built just very small numbers, custom, and then they used off the shelf components, obviously where they could to save money, and so they were going back to reproduce this. It's not, they do a lot of research and try to figure out, well, was this leather, was this material, and let's try to get it right. But yeah, they're going to add sensors that's going to be able to sense humidity, temperature, and pressure, and they're going to have all those discs to be able to play all the captain's logs, and so they're going to have it be able to scan certain scientific measurements, but they're trying to get it as close as possible to the original. But I don't know if they're doing a medical version, but I guess depending on how this sells, it wouldn't surprise me if they came out with a medical version too. Yep.
Yeah, Fiona, in my master's thesis, I talk about how Cooper saw Captain Kirk with his communicator, and basically sort of said to himself, I want to put the guts in that. And now we have cell phones because of it. So yeah, you can thank Star Trek communicators for the cell phone. So
yeah,
things are getting cool. I mean, once they start putting the guts and stuff, our world is just going to be coo.
Yep. And I think the communicator is still available. I bought it. It was on sale on the Star Trek website for a while. I think it was on, and I signed up. If you sign up for the first time to purchase it, and then they give you like a 10% discount. So I got it for on sale. But yeah, so it's how much is it now? It's $180 for the.
It's, you know what? It's almost at the price of the replica that I have now. The replica that I have from I'm super tired because I was writing all day.
The Diamond Select one?
Diamond Select. Thank you.
Yeah.
Diamond Select, it's like it's around $100 Canadian to try and get one now. I think it's around $200 if you go through Amazon.ca if you're trying to get a new one, a new Diamond Select.
And then we're better off with this one. This is actually, much better than Diamond Select, and it actually works. So yeah, and it has the.
Well, it's got the brass cover, and that's the key, right? The Diamond Select doesn't have the brass cover. It's a painted plastic, but still far superior to the Playmates. I would never buy the Playmates.
I mean, if you're just doing generic cosplay and that was the only thing you could get, it's okay. But it's saying it's sold out now. Oh, drat.
Yeah.
Notify when available. But I see that's one of the things I saw that was available. I'm like, I can't let this, because I missed it the first time. So I pulled the trigger on that one. I used all the coupons I could to get it at a better price, and it's got all the voices, and you can actually talk with it. It uses a Bluetooth headset with your cell phone, which is kind of fun.
Crazy and cool.
The communicator's not made to go up to your ear. It's meant to
if you ever see someone put a communicator up to their ear, I don't advocate violence, but I advocate shin kicks. Like, why would
There you
anyone
go.
do that? You know, like, I remember when, before, when I first met Clobby, when someone he didn't know would say something foolish, he would say, "Can you do me a favor, please? Can you take your hand and put it at the back of your head? Just whack yourself." That's what he would say.
Since I can't reach you, yes,
Yes,
I need you
yes.
to do that for me.
I love it.
Put your head back there and smack.
I used to love it when you used to say that to people. "I'm sorry, I can't reach you. So can you do me a favor? Can you please take your right hand, place it at the back of your head, and smack yourself as hard as possible? Thank you."
Thank you.
Reminds me of Ruprecht from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Can I go to the bathroom?
It's almost like a play on something Blackadder did once. Yeah. Great Blackadder. So yes, indeed, yesness. Well, number one, you've worked hard all day and had a rough one, and when we can start moseying on out of here. We've had a great fun. At least I've had great fun. I don't know about everyone else, but
I had a
Great
marvelous time. I currently have a writing contract that I need to get fulfilled on a very tight deadline, and I'm writing the 5th story for the 2nd book. So I just want to thank everyone for bearing with me, because my brain is just goo, and the minute that I get off air here, I have to go back and fulfill that writing deadline. So but it's great to have work, because as you all know, even if you have a master's in STEM where I live, there are no jobs. So I'm just grateful to have a job. I'm grateful for this contract, and I'm going to get it done.
fantastic. Fiona says, should we have a proper replica show once a month? Well, we do talk about replicas here sometimes, but
We do.
I don't know about once a month, but we definitely talk about them here in the clubhouse sometimes for sure.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to, I mean, like, do you have a lot of those, Fiona, or what? Look at that, man.
I'm wondering, is this the one you have, Fiona? The wand one, or this is one I should have bought. I never did.
Oh my goodness.
Ron Lamare has them all.
I think Retroblasting has this one and the
Every single
communicator.
one of
Does
them.
he?
And it's amazing
Yeah.
to walk in his room and see them all. They're incredible.
Nice.
He did this. He had a student Retroblasting had another studio
Ron, yeah.
tour video, which is really cool. And I think it was the Wand Company one. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But he did have some really nice replicas, of course. But
Cool.
I'm trying to remember if it was this one, but this one is just gorgeous,
Nice.
and that's one of the ones I was shin kicked myself for not
Mhm.
buying.
should have bought
It's
that
no
one.
longer in production, and no retailers have any remaining stock. Yep.
Yeah, Fiona
sad.
says she does have some replicas. Let's see. She says, I have the master replica, which is the machine, the metal one. I'm really afraid to touch it these days. Well, I hear you there.
That's a beautiful
stand
one.
out
Yeah,
of
the
Dave!
replicas one. Yep.
Dave, what's up, dude? Heading out, Dave. He's heading out.
He is. I just
You
always
good,
have
brother?
to yell his name.
Dave,
Good night, sweetheart.
Take
Thank
care,
you for
man. Have a
being
good
here.
one. Thanks for being here. Yeah, absolutely. Well, so let's get number one out of here. She's very tired, I know, and stuff like that. It's a school night still and all that stuff, or work night, whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Sorry, everyone, and sorry I was so quiet and so out of it
You were
tonight.
not
but
quiet.
I'm tired.
No, you
Oh my
weren't.
God, that-
Crazy day.
I didn't sleep last night, and I've suffered through two of the most rotten things I've ever watched.
You know, I need to
so-
say on air that I'm so sorry that this happened to you, because, you know, when I first met you, you made it very clear that you really love Indiana Jones. And there are so few things that you truly, truly love. And just the way that you expressed how much you enjoyed that adventure and what a great story that was, and how much fun you had watching that film. I just feel so bad for you, Clobby.
Thanks.
Jay is just shattered about it, but
Jay's
I'm
shattered. I mean, wow, and I didn't expect that. I mean, there's things that suck, and there's things like make you just want to. I mean, just this is I did react a lot worse to The Last Jedi than I did this, but Jay has made me think that this is definitely the same type of thing. Or certainly very. I mean, it's just mostly just very dreary and it's sort of. Do you need to see your heroes die, or not so much die? Yeah, it gave him a happy ending, but we just didn't. It's still you had to spend 2 hours of watching him get watching him, since he was so good at his adventures were so great at being inspiring and fun. Watch him running around doing nothing for 2 hours is probably the biggest problem with this movie.
Yeah.
Running around just like a chicken with his head cut off. I mean, there was nothing to it, no story. Oh wow, Fiona has a. I have the Blade Runner Deckard blaster. Wow, the Filth Element gun. Mal Reynolds pistol. Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
Babylon 5 plasma PPG. No, from Garibaldi. Yeah. Stormtrooper rifle on the Sterling Space 1999 laser. That's
get out of town, really?
most
So
of them
hey,
made
everyone,
of
do not
metal.
try to rob Fiona's house because she's well armed.
You'll get blasted.
That's great. Oh, Lisa,
Great
I
stuff,
love you,
Fiona.
Lisa.
Yeah. So no, yeah. Look, it made me sad that it was just a big nothing, and it was just a horrible way for him to go out. I mean, they didn't do to him what they did to the character of Luke Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that because Luke Skywalker, they turned him evil and stupid and made him a quitter, and it was pretty horrible. You know, Indy's no quitter in the movie, nothing like that. It's just we didn't need to see him running around being embarrassed in a movie, and that's what he looks like the whole time. And the movie's putrid. There's nothing exciting. J-Man made the best point of all. Simple as you can put it. Even in the lesser movies, Indiana Jones does all kind of cool stuff. He did not do one thing that was cool or stand out, that was badass.
Oh, no.
And he just ran around. And on top of it, we had to see this annoying Blitch, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. So it's just terrible. But anyway, it's not a big deal. And I had to sit through. Again, I never had to do anything, so this is all my fault when I watch this stuff, everybody. Strangled Dude Worms. The new episode of Strangled Dude Worms. I just, don't worry, I'm not going to review it. We're going to get out of here, but wow.
Really bad, hey?
Well, I mean, it's actually, maybe I'm numb to it now. It was just inane. It's just stupid.
Was Khan in it?
Yes. 8-year-old Khan. So what gets me, here's the thing. He's not really Kirk anyway. But I wish we'll get out of here in a second. Strangled Dude Worms people, if I could have made a deal with them when their show first came on, that they would leave Kirk alone. And you've already ruined Spock. You've already ruined Uhura. You've already ruined Chapel and Kirk's brother and all this kind of crap. And Pike. Yeah. If I said, look, if you guys would just leave Kirk alone, we'll make a deal. I'll never watch your stupid shit or talk about it ever. Leave him alone. I know he's an alternate version anyway. Alternate timeline crap. If you just leave him, never touch Kirk. The one thing untouched by all this shit, other than the Jar Jar Abrams movies were bad enough. That tarnishes Kirk, even though it's not real Kirk anyway. But this is saying that this trying to imply that it is the real Kirk and different, in which it isn't. And then they're showing different timelines too. I'm like, could you just not touch Kirk? Leave him alone. Go. You've already shit all over everything else. Did you have to go there with this? Like,
and adding the Khan connection there too.
Oh, the Khan stuff.
Why did they do? Why didn't they just make her own character? I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, just so stupid to do that. I mean, I can't.
The dude looks more like Jim Carrey than Shatner.
He does look like Jim Carrey.
It's so sad.
You know what? By the way, I'm going to be nice. He's a good actor. I mean, he and there's never the actors. Guys doing it. I mean, you can tell. Look, he's not like us. This guy's probably not a Star Trek freak. I'm going to go out on a limb. But he gets handed a job like that. He takes it seriously, I'm sure. He thinks he's doing something. I'm playing the most iconic captain. I'm sure he did. And he plays it earnestly. He's trying. I mean, he's not like he said, this role, it's nothing. But it's just not Star Trek. And he's never going to be Kirk. I mean, I wouldn't want to play that role knowing that there's only one guy that will ever be Kirk, and it's Shatner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not a costume. It's not a costume.
Kirk. Robert Altus, what's up, buddy?
Can I give some feedback to Larry for a second? I just want to say, Larry, I totally would have hung out with you in school, like growing up. Just the way that you talk, like you talk about how you didn't take gym, you took band, and just like you made your first working laser pistol for a science fair, and all these things. Like Larry, you would have been my best chum. You would have been my best mate when we were young. Yeah, you're totally my speed. You're my kind of people, Larry.
That's
Sorry.
hysterical. Yeah.
Lisa, they didn't have popcorn in the hat where I went. They didn't have any of that stuff at the AMC. Which, you know what? And I'm glad because
Yeah, I didn't get no chance for
I
that
wouldn't have
either.
bought anything.
Well, I would have bought the the drink with the hat for my son. That was pretty fun.
I would have bought
Because-
that, baby.
Yeah, I would have bought that if I'd seen it. But yeah, it's a shame that yeah, it's not going to be. Still looking at the theater. It's not sold out, and normally a movie like this sells out. So it's going to be big money
Gross.
with all the
What?
reshoots and Chris Pine. Chris
Gross.
Pine. I
What?
missed that comment. It came and went.
No, which one?
Kirk and some weird Noonien Singh
Lon
kiss.
Nunson.
What?
Yes. Yeah, he kissed her.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you
what I
know,
thought.
in
They were going to
defen-
ship them
In
together.
his defense, it's Kirk, so he's going to kiss the girl. Then.
Yeah, but
He's running
who's
around-
Lon Noonien Singh?
She's a recurring character on the show, who's the chief of security, who is descended from Kanuni Singh. That's moronic idiocy.
Gross.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
good looking.
on
Well,
the
I think she's
Enterprise.
a cutie. She's a hottie, I think. So, you know, I mean, she actually, they make her look like all the other women on Strangled and Worms. They'll make them look ugly on the show. I don't mean ugly. These are beautiful women. A lot of them. They make them look terrible in their outfits,
Yeah.
in their stupid. They
They
go out of their way to
uglify
make them
them.
look bad, right?
Well, like
And
the
her-
hairstyle. and
Yes,
the-
it's a
the
beautiful
hairstyle's
woman, but
weird.
it's like, let's
Yes.
uglify her. Or, you know.
In my
or-
opinion, that's what they do.
Yeah, it's true. No, I've seen it
And then-
myself.
And in this episode, though, they're both back in the past in like the 21st century, so they're wearing normal clothes, and she looks really good. You know, what I mean,
Hmm.
he's being Kirk's gonna, even fake Kirk's gonna be Kirk. All right, in that sense.
Yeah,
I don't care
I'm
about
so
that.
glad you guys are watching that putrid filth and not me. I don't have any of
Oh,
that
no.
crap in my brain. My brain is clean.
No, you're
It
clean.
is-
Look,
It is clean
But
of
is he?
the
But is
filth.
he?
Only
but is
good
Kirk-
stuff here.
Is Kirk Khan's father then, or is
no.
that? They're not doing that.
Look, I
but-
wouldn't have put it past them. though. They should. That would have been funny.
Oh, if that's the implication, I might
No, it's not.
actually puke. Like actually,
No.
actually,
They-
like.
that was- he's saying that because I made a joke that they would probably do something. That
I haven't
stupid.
seen the show yet, so yeah.
He's
but I
just
mean,
saying
the-
that I was joking around saying that they might do.
These
But
people
that
don't even know
character-
what year it is.
That character they could have written her didn't need the Khan backstory, and Uhura's not Uhura. It should have just been a different character.
Oh, and what they did to the Gorn's
and-
horrible. You're right, Fiona.
Oh, the
What's that?
Gorn
Yeah.
is a terrifying, and the actress who plays Nurse Chapel is a good actress, but it's not Nurse Chapel. It's just
They're all
such a
good
totally
actors.
different. Yeah, it's just
They're
like
just
why just do a different
trash.
nurse? I mean, you could have Mabenga on there. That's fine. Although you should have Dr. Boyce instead of.
No,
Mabenga.
Mabenga's not fine being on there. He's younger. He worked
That's
for
true,
McCoy.
yeah.
Benga is
He-
not.
Yeah,
He's
it
younger
should
than
be.
McCoy.
Yeah.
But of all
They-
the ones you're gonna pick, I don't mind
They
having
changed
him
him
on.
for Dr. Boyce.
Yeah,
They
they should have
did.
had Dr. Boyce
Yeah,
though. You're
that's
right. Yeah.
crazy.
Or they
That's
could have
not-
introduced him
They
in
could have
like
just
the
race
fifth
swapped him like they
season.
did. They could have just race
Yeah.
swapped voice like they did April, but I'm saying it's stupid. But you know, why would you have
Yeah.
Mabenga on there? It makes no sense. And I like that
He
actor.
doesn't belong on there.
No, he doesn't. Nobody belongs on there. But it's a piece
Yeah,
of
the
filthy
Gorn is
trash.
what they did to the Gorn was probably the worst. God, it's so ridiculous not understanding
The Gorn's like the
tenets of
Gorn.
what made the Gorn so interesting. Were they were slow lizard creatures, and everyone says they make fun of that costume. I think that costume was fantastic. It
I totally
terrified
agree.
me as a kid, and there
I
was something
totally agree.
scary about them being slow moving creatures that you can't stop. That's like a reoccurring nightmare I have, where someone's chasing you and you can't run.
But how about also using your imagination though? Because all I was
Yeah,
thinking is
right.
is that it's like it's a bigger creature, so its movement is exaggerated. It's slow, but like even when I was a kid, I could put two and two together. Like I had an imagination. Like I read books. I had an imagination. I don't understand why the update has to be CGI good, CGI good. Like You should they have no imagination,
Ugh,
you
they're
know.
horrible.
I mean,
Like, Mark,
Enterprise did
you
the
and I
CGI
with
Gorn
the
that I didn't
with
like.
the
but
practical effects and the models and stuff. Like, you and I love that stuff. I know Clubby does too, but you and I especially, Mark. Like, I'm really in love with Jerry Anderson's models on UFO. Like, really, like I love it way more than I would ever like CGI.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Clubby's Gorn is the best Gorn in the whole gosh darn business.
Fiona,
It
I
is,
agree
yeah.
with you about that character. She's really annoying. Ugh. But
I shall not do any golden voices for you now, Captain. I shall simply say, I love Strange Dude Worms. It's such a great show. The Gordon's perfect on there.
well, I'm evil.
Well, I am evil, Captain, and I shall not be merciful to you. Filthy humans.
Sorry, it hurts.
It hurts. Yeah,
Love
don't
it.
do too much,
So
right? Yeah.
good. That's why we get you to do it at the end of the show, boss.
I am the captain of my Gordon ship. What have they done to me on Strangled Dude Worms? Whatever.
Sorry. So, oh
So
boy, that
good.
hurts. Anyway, shit. That show is. Yeah, look. I'll watch any old drivel, so I can talk about it, but I'm not proud. And it's a piece of dog crap. This is worse than, to me, the first and second season of this are way worse than P-Hard season 3, but I still hate P-Hard season 3. But before people were fawning all over P-Hard season 3 for some dumb reason, a lot of them were fawning over this crap. And now R&B's going after, I mean, at least he's going after Akiva Goldsman for saying really stupid stuff. He's all over the place, all over them. I don't know from one week to the next on it, but yeah, this stuff, if they'd have just left Kirk alone, I don't know. Not that it matters, he's not really Kirk, but holy shit, it was so
Is it Roy
stupid.
Kirk?
Yes, it's Jackson Roy Kirk. Soy Kirk, or as I'm gonna call him Soy Kirk. And he is Soy Kirk. It's just like, ugh. And that Carol Kane character, boy, is she freaking annoying.
Is she annoying? Because she seemed pretty annoying in her first
Woo.
appearance.
Oh my
Only watched
God.
half of the first episode. Is she that? She's
Holy
that bad? Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. All right, my
And
friends.
she's got that weird accent too. Yeah.
Yep, and it's just a piece of shit. So I'm gonna have to go to a movie again for a month when I'm gonna go, because for my buddy Paulie and for my friend I'll go see Blue Beetle.
When's that out?
About a month from now. Okay. No,
About a month?
end of August. End of August.
End of the summer.
So at least
okay.
I'll have to go to a movie for a while.
You're not coming up to see Indy 5 with me again tomorrow night? No.
Sure, I'll drive up there for that. Yeah, I never have to see that piece of dog shit again. No. That was worthwhile. I love it. Oh shit. All right, everybody. Let's see. Show notes. No, first before I do that, I want to number one, closing words, of course.
I'm too pooped to even talk, so I'm just gonna say, hey everybody, I love you. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for this wonderful conversation. Thank you to the wrenches, all the individuals that make this club, this community, this thing that we all made together. It's a pretty incredible thing, and I'm really grateful for it. Thanks for putting up with me. I love you all very much. Thank you so much, Mark. Make sure you check out Mark's Patreon channel or site, because basically we forced him to do it. But it'll be worthwhile because he makes beautiful things. And Clobby, I love you with all of my heart. Thank you for creating this space for us. I had a heck of a great time, and I look forward to doing this a lot more. You're the best,
Thank you
baby.
so much. Thank you, number one. Love you, love you. Thank you, Fiona, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Fiona says,
Unlike the filth, I will be merciful and quick, because the filth is not to the sucks. Yeah! Thank you, Fiona. You have been merciful and quick as well. I love you. What are you doing after the the Metrones leave us on that asteroid. I can't even be. I can't do it anymore. I was trying. I'm sorry, Fiona. I tried. Oh
Well,
man, I
Are
gotta
you
stop
gorned
that.
out?
No more gorning tonight.
Yeah, well, that was pretty
Um,
stellar. So thank you for sacrificing
Oh.
your pipes for us, boss.
Oh,
We
man.
absolutely love your Gorn impression. On behalf of everyone here, your
No, you
Gorn
don't.
impression rocks the Casbah, boss.
It's not that good, but thank you. Chief Engineer, final words.
Well, as always, it's fantastic to be here, and share the chat was great tonight. And yeah, unfortunately, Indy, I guess, didn't pan out for everyone. So I didn't think it was that bad, as bad. But I hear you guys. I hear what's
That's cool.
some
you.
of the things I can, I see what they're. Some of the things I can't argue with, but I'll maybe when I see it on the second time around.
I hope you don't. hope
But
you
it
like
wasn't
better
great. It
tomorrow
wasn't
night.
great. Yeah, it wasn't great, but yeah, I just we'll just leave it at that. But yeah,
No, I
so
got you. No big deal.
yeah, but appreciate everyone who's become members to my channel and my Patreon's Shooter Brian Hepburn, and the Doomsday Machine is available for purchase there, or if you join the Patreon. So check that out. And yeah, always appreciate the chance to hang out with you guys. It's so much fun, and yeah, and who does? No one does a better a Gorn impersonation than Clobber in time. So
That's only because no one's dumb enough to do it for me.
yeah, and kill their pipes, right? Yeah. So yeah. So we got to show everyone the Gorn, right?
Now, there's Fiona being a wise aper. Says, now I can tell you guys I told you not to go see that movie. Oh, the pain, you bubble-headed booby. You're right, Fiona. You did you tell you? Maybe you told us. I'll take your word for it that you told us. But whether you did or not, I'm sure you meant to. Lemon Pie, what's up? So sorry, go ahead. What you want to show that now? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, just the Gorn, whenever you do your Gorn. So here's the.
I hate strangled dude worms, and I shall not be merciful to them. Mr. Potato Head sucks. I just watched the movie Old Indiana Jones and the Rotary Dial of Destiny. It sucked. I shall stab it. I will show it no mercy. Harrison Ford, what the hell were you thinking? I hate this movie. You humans have ruined the only human movie I like. I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark 75 times on Earth in the past of 1981. Now I really can't talk.
So Eric K is saying I better stick to my guns. Say it's the best movie you've ever seen, and PB Waller is a superstar. I'm in trouble now. Yeah.
Oh, I love Eric.
Everyone is allowed to like what they like.
Yeah. So, but
even Eric's allowed.
Even Eric, yeah. But so everyone, yeah, have a great 4th of July weekend if you're in the States, and if you're in Britain, yeah, well, that's okay. You don't mind missing us now, right? I guess, but
yeah,
happy 4th to them too.
British.
But
just kidding, my British friends.
So we'll decide on Saturday. We do Sunday Night Geekery, but
hey, that's a quote from a movie.
Yeah,
that's from The Great Escape.
You just made me spit.
We love our British friends. Hey, British friends, you redcoats, we love you here.
We love you too.
So
yeah. Down with King George, says JT Kirk.
Down with King George.
Yeah.
Oh man,
God, I love you guys.
Hey, I hope our British friends are
so
okay
much,
with that. Matthew and Ezra, we're just kidding around.
Just kidding. Yeah.
100%
driving the wrong side of the road, but you did give us UFO and James Bond, and
hey, we love
pretty much get you covered for everything else.
And Doctor Who, Blake 7, and
Doctor Who,
and UFO. I mean,
yeah. So yeah, what's not to love, right? Yeah. So, but thank you, everyone. Yeah, and have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your Friday.
Yep. What's that? A UFO award. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Appreciate you, buddy. All right. Show notes are nothing special. Just I'll be tomorrow night hanging out with Nick Weiser and the gang at the Friday Night Comic Shop Boys. We'll be reviewing 4 more issues of Steve Ditko's
run on Amazing Spider-Man. I think issues 25 through 26, 7. I forgot exactly. We'll be there, somewhere up in there. Then, of course, Saturday Night Star Trek. Tentatively, I think it's going to be out. And 4 episodes of Deep Space Nine. Whatever.
It sounds
she
like you're
said.
very excited about that.
I am. Oh yeah. I'm gonna. All right. I'm gonna pretend I'm Indiana Jones in the dial of density. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna say this again in the energy, and basically in the same energy spectrum that movie is. Right, here we go. Saturday Night Star Trek, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Deep Space Nine, 4 more episodes reviewed, and stuff, and we'll, and there are 4 of them. And we'll review them and talk about them and stuff and things and sorry, Ezra, you're Canadian. Gotcha. My apologies. I thought you were across the pond there. My apologies, sir. I'm sorry. I'm going to be talking like this for the rest of the night because this is the movie I watched. It was like that movie was like watching a movie in slow motion. It almost
Terrible.
like it felt so real. I'm watching like even the scenes that tried to move fast. I'm like, man, this movie's just doing nothing.
Boss man, I should
What?
say before we get everyone tonight, I picked out the prize for DS9, and so
Wow.
Prize?
yeah, so the end of IP, so the end of DS9 prize, we'll have a draw for it on the final episode for DS9.
okay.
But I did pick what the present's going to be.
Okay. Okie
Are you going to show it or it's a surprise?
No, it's a surprise, and I sent you both a message so that you know what the surprise is, but you don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm not.
All right.
I'm not. No spoilers. Yeah.
No
Sunny-
spoilers, Mark.
Yeah.
don't
No, I
know-
would never do that.
We don't know if there's going to be a Sunday night geekery or not, but if there is, we'll be there. If not, we won't be. There you go. That's all, the only way I can put that. Basically,
I'll
how
let
it
you
works.
know.
That's pure
Yeah.
scientific logic, folks.
Happy
I might
4th
be
of
on a road
July,
trip
all of
for the
my
4th,
American
so, yeah.
friends. I love all of my
And but-
American friends. I love your beautiful country. Thank you for
Thank you.
always supporting me, for just being marvelous people to hang around with. I love you all so very much. Bless your beautiful country and your marvelous culture. You are the cutest people ever. I just appreciate you so much.
I think Larry said. So let's see, what was I doing? All right. By the way, we did not, if you did not notice, we did not review a Star Trek comic this week because we were not able to get to it. But I will. We'll do it next week for sure. I hope we'll do it. And Monday night, though, I'll be hanging out at J-Man's channel. We'll be talking some Legion, doing our Legion reviews. So that's that. Let me send a shout out our wrenches, of course, the great Eric K. Thank you, Eric, buddy. Appreciate you. The great Chris Persia, D. Bud Martin, Lord and Lady Thought They've lives long as the Legion, the great J-Man, Hungry Boy, Cal L. Buddy, Maddie's Daddy, and of course the great Fanty Outside Erie. Let's see. And I want to thank everyone else for being here with us tonight. 6, I thought it was 6 was Lisa. Sorry, I don't think 6 popped in, but we love 6. That's right. I saw her over there. The other one. Fiona, Lisa, thank you so much, ladies, for being here with us tonight. Lemon Pie, Brian Hepburn. Let's see, Larry, Rob Altus, Ezra Goldstein, Matthew Pounder, Joseph Dredd, JT Kirk. Who else was there? Donnie Pearson. It takes me a while to get to the other ones. Who else was here with us this evening? Sorry, folks. It takes me a while to find another one of that. It's an active chat, but I know I haven't gotten everybody yet, but I mean, it takes a while to get someone that I haven't yet shouted out yet. I apologize. Could not be reached for further comment. Hope I don't miss anybody. Vamp, 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 vamp. Or, oh, Dave C. There you go. Dead Man Walking in the Dead Man Clan, Brian Hepburn. I think I got, no, I didn't get Brian, did I? Did I? Oh, man. Did I get, could not be reached for further comment? I don't know if I got him or not. Yeah. Darth Morgoth the second. Hey. I think Fletcher Williams was here as well earlier. Let's see. Bop, 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 bop. That's just about, we're going to stop it in a second here. We can't get everybody because the thing goes back so far. Linrod was here, though. Hey, there you go.
Yep.
And let's see. Bop, 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 bop. Blunt Philly Reviews was here. Simply Steve. Up in here, up in here, up in here, up in here. Who was up in here? Dave C. was. Sometimes I'm repeating myself because I forget with my garbage, lousy memory. It sucks. My memory is garbage. It sucks. All right. Well, we're about to draw to a close, folks, because I can't go all the way back into saying, although Alora Harrison was here as well. You know, so see, every time I think I got them all, I'm gonna go. All right. Oh, Thomas Bartoldi. No, nice to meet you. Thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate you. And we're gonna let it go about right there, folks. We went back as far back as we could. It would take way too long. Ray Lucard, though, was here, so I'm glad we got most of you. Anyone we didn't get, we apologize. I want to thank everyone who's lurking out there tonight. And everyone, Ravenscroft was here, obviously.
Yeah.
And everyone listening on a download or a rewatch, whatever you want to call it, you are too kind. We appreciate you so much. Everyone, have a phenomenal weekend. It is. I know that July 4th isn't till Tuesday, but have a great July 4th weekend, and in that as well. I love my country. I love freedom, and there's still some of us who still love freedom and know what it means.
Me too.
Let's celebrate it. Yes, indeed. We love our Canadian friends as well. It's Canada Week for them. Everyone in Canada, very congratulations on that, and
Thanks,
have a
boss.
wonderful. Yes, have a wonderful. I guess it's
Yeah.
a Canada weekend celebration, right?
It is, boss.
Well, have a wonderful one.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody. Sorry, everybody. Just goddamn
Get those nerds! By your command, Imperious Leader. Get those nerds! 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 What? It's clobbering time! Clobberanimo! I just love clobbering time.